Test, test.
Pero ellos trabajan y son por proyecciones. Mucha gente lo hace conmigo. O sea, yo he visto negocios que primero pago y algo de eso. He visto negocios de camiones de hijos, unos de perritos, que hacen corte de perritos. Y eso, también food trucks, camiones de comida, cafeterías, peluquerías.
Eso es lo que yo creo que también es ese tipo de negocios que son difíciles, pero siempre hay oportunidad porque es
Bien.
bastante personal, ¿sabes? Como que tú llegas y a lo
Sí.
mejor...
Hey, I thought you were gonna be here.
100 clientes para ser exitosos.
Oh,
y así
good.
pasan customer service.
Oh, I didn't think you were coming.
Digamos que si está bueno aún 5 años, usted tiene un monte de...
Oh, I got the names confused. I thought you were doing something. We'll talk. You know.
Sí.
Esa digamos la residencia.
All right, ready to get started.
Good, how are you?
Hey, what's up, man? Good, good.
¿Sí entiendes? O sea, esto es como la puerta que se abre,
So looks like we got a packed house today.
pero ustedes piensan, pero ustedes
This is it? Oh, this
Oh
is
no,
big.
people start coming in.
We get an hour?
Yeah.
You got a girl in your group, her name is Raina. She bought your course.
Okay.
So, just gonna give you a couple of things that I think maybe you need to mention. Okay.
Okay.
She's excited to be on your course and get approved in the influencer. Do you tell people in the course that when they get approved for phase 1, that they're influencers?
No, I spend, well, yes. If you do get approved for phase 1, you're approved in the influencer program and you're an influencer. Yes.
Okay.
You're not approved for on-site commission.
Correct, but I think you need to make that difference.
Yeah, because some people are like, I didn't get approved for the influencer program, so I'm not in the influencer program. Like, yeah, you're in the influencer program. You can go live as an Amazon influencer.
But I
You have
think,
the
it's
links.
I think it's important to tell them that they're an influencer, and that if they don't get approved after 3 strikes, they have to get out of the influencer program and then re-sign up again. Just saying that at the end for the,
Yeah, I'll put that under like the troubleshooting, or what happens if you say, what happens if they say no?
yeah. This is like telling them.
I'm gonna give it a few more minutes, but it's strange that for this hour, there's more people on the stream than have.
Summertime.
Yeah. All right, we can get started talking. You guys ready?
Yeah, sure.
Let me make sure it's not showing the sponsors there. Test, test. You missed the last 2 weeks. It was packed with people. I was like, where did this come from?
That's good. I was gonna suggest that after this, the meetup that I was at, I was thinking about your sponsors. That one-on-one thing was really good. It's almost like speed dating.
So say the cost of the ticket is this, but if you sit down for X amount of time with the sponsors, the ticket cost gets waived type of thing?
They paid us. They paid us $1,500 each to go, to recover the cost of our airplane ticket and our hotel. So the sponsors are clearly eating that cost, but they're meeting with, instead of getting up and doing a track and hoping that you have 30 people for the track that you sponsor, they're getting one-on-one meetups with people for 4 hours, and it's 15 minutes a meetup. And they get to kind of pre-select, so you select who you want to see, and they see if they want to see you, and then they confirm back with you, and then you're good. So, I don't know if you'd want to do something like that. Like, and then remember the table thing that we did with the 12 chairs?
That's amazing.
Just think about doing that here.
Well, you know
Just
who's,
as like a once a month kind of thing.
I like that, but you know what happened, hey guys? You know what happened? Hey. See. So what happened is, I wanted to do it, and like the hesitancy for me doing it is I pretty much have to say that, and for people on the stream listening to this as we get started, it's like a bunch of tables, and everyone's sitting at the table, and you're basically going like speed dating thing. They're different. Like the best one I went to was the one at Podcast Movement. I think it was our first one, and it was a person well, at the Podcast Movement one, it was the person had to say, like, it was host, guest, all the way around, like you were assigned. So a host said, this is my show, this is what it's about, this is the type of people that I'm looking on the show, and you pass it. And this person had to go as I am a guest, but I guess it could be seller, service provider.
At the table, it was basically all sellers, and there was a card in the middle of the table, and it just prompted you with questions. So if you needed that, fine, but basically everybody kind of went around and said, this is what I do, and this is what, why I'm here, this is what's your sticking point, what are you having trouble with, what is your, so, and it just got really engaged in.
I love it. I love doing that. You believe it? Ironically, the person that really pushed for us to try to do that, and I was like, okay, we'll do it, but if you kind of spearhead this, is Gabe. For like a year and a half, he was pushing it. I think it's a great idea. The logistics I see is like the stream. They're not gonna, if the one table was here and they were watching, you kind of have a visual of who's talking, but how would I pull that off of like, I would either have to say no stream.
Just do one table.
One table.
Just remember, they're gonna rotate.
So one big table, like put all these black tables together and have one?
No, you may have 4 or 5 tables, but the one table is the one that gets with the stream, and then remember, all the people in the group will eventually be on that one table.
Yeah, and mic up one table.
Yep.
That'd be interesting. We'll either gain a lot of subscribers or lose a bunch. Either way, it'd be good. I think it has to do with like a really cool function at some of these events that's really growing, thankfully, and it's a round table at the end of the day, and it's a way for everyone to network effectively, quickly, not deal with any of the friction that comes with it. Like, man, I'm stuck in the conversation with this person and I don't know how to go. What X amount of time you leave, right? Or some of the tables will have actual like rules to them, like depending on the event and depending on what makes sense. Like, there's no, like some of them have like there's no pitching your stuff. One that I really liked was a bunch of tables, and we could do something like this in the group, but it was a bunch of tables, and then each table had one of those white paper things and a topic. So this one table could be like differentiation, the other one could be something different. And when you got to that table, that was the topic, and the only thing everyone was responsible for was, what's your best hack when it comes to this? And you wrote it on the board. And then the next table came, if they said one that's already on the board, then you didn't write it, but anything new got added. And at the end, you had like everyone's best hack on how they dealt with X on that subject rapidly.
I like it.
I like that one a lot.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah.
Okay. All right, we're gonna get started. So this week was a tough one for me. By the way, help yourself, everybody, to the snacks and the water, and there's coffee coming. If you want, feel free to get up as we're going.
Thank you.
Good, you already got it? Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. What I've really been trying to do this year, and I think part of the reason we hadn't done another year's beginner hour is just do live product sourcing. So I'm gonna open the computer up in a second after a few announcements, and we're gonna do some of that, because I feel like whether you're a beginner or established, adding more products or finding your first product is important. The downside to that is it requires me, because no one wants to see, in reality, when you're looking for ideas, you don't get a new product idea every second. In reality, you might be spending an hour and a half and you're like, it's a total win when you walk away with 2. So it forces me during the week to always be finding stuff. This is one of those weeks where I didn't have this like epiphany of some like totally new product that I feel like could take over the world. So we're gonna do more of reality, which is just opening it up and having some ideas, and it'll be engaging. So that's for the beginner hour. We also are gonna take some questions, but we'll do it towards the end of the beginner hour. Otherwise, we don't get to do the product sourcing part of it. And it seems like the feedback from the group has been great on that. Everyone's asking for it to be added to our video vault, which is nice. And that's a goal we might do. The topic this week, though, is gonna be, for lack of a better word, listing teardown. And we're gonna roast some listings, and I'm gonna share in a real structured way, like great listings, mediocre listings, and bad listings. Or another way, highly converting profitable listings, hemorrhaging, right, is basically another way of saying that, which is true. And I'm gonna start all the way from the canonical URL at the top, and I'm gonna go down. We're gonna spend the majority of this, and don't get bored, I promise you it's gonna be exciting, on the main image. And that is because the main image of your product has just an unholy amount of impact on how your listing does. Like, you could nail everything else on your listing, and if that main image doesn't do what it needs to do or do what it could do, it's not gonna work. So what I did is I broke down how it's gonna be structured. Is I broke down all in a way of almost prompts, and nothing to do with ChatGPT, by the way, but like in a way of almost like prompts, because you wanna be able to go to your listing or your listing image idea and have these prompts and go through it and ask, does your product do this? The majority of them apply to every product. And there's a few of them though, you might not apply to your product. And I feel like that way, not only will it be a lot more structured instead of this free-for-all on like what's a good product image or what's a good product listing, but it'll be something you can walk away with and apply to your business right now, or if you're gonna start something, apply it to where that starts. Well, that'll be our topic of the week. A few announcements, sponsors as you see up here, blessed that we have a bunch of amazing sponsors. That QR code goes to all of them. So you don't have to, I've noticed the past few weeks, people like holding their phone up, kind of timing it, waiting for that slide to hit for the one they want. It's gonna take you to a page that has all of them. So you can catch any of those QR codes. You'll also see the links to a lot of the sponsors in the meetup event. If you're watching this on the stream, I appreciate the feedback on how this doesn't look that appealing to you on the screen. It's not meant to.
Are you sure that was all the QR codes look different?
I might, well, you know what? Test it. My
No,
team,
it's just
my
one
team,
page.
it goes to
It's
one
all-
page,
Okay,
right?
okay.
Yeah, but I would say test it. That'd be good to call me out on it, or maybe, who knows where it goes, but my team put it together, so me putting together this slide deck and the QR codes and everything would be a year. So, if you're watching this on the stream, you'll see that little, like, we call it the NASCAR ticker that's going across the bottom, that's mentioning all the sponsors that we have there. And, yeah. The podcast that we have, it's been growing rapidly, so I appreciate the support from everybody. The last few episodes have been getting a lot of feedback, which is always great. I guess saying that here in the meetup event lets you guys know how important it is to me, and you're taking the time out to send me a message about what you like, what you don't like. Thankfully, it's a lot more of what you like, and I appreciate that. An event that I'm gonna be talking about a bunch probably today, and just moving forward until we go, is Co-Create, Alibaba Co-Create, September 5th and 6th, in Las Vegas. I'll pull that up later, but I'll be sharing a lot of announcements that's coming out on that. I'm working really close with Alibaba on this event, so there's a lot of behind the scenes stuff that are not even part of the event that we're gonna be able to be part of. So they gave us what I think is a very generous discount. I think comes out to 25%. The tickets also for like the VIP ticket, which you don't have to get, I think is very affordable. Let me break it down for you. It's like, say $1,000, but actually $999. But it includes your room at the hotel of the event. So that alone might wipe out a lot of it. So that they value those rooms at like $300. It also includes $200 of Alibaba credit. So if you have the ticket and you're buying anything off Alibaba or AliExpress, that $200 applies. So any of your shopping that you're doing through Alibaba, you can apply that credit, so you're gonna get $200 of that back. It includes lunch and food throughout the day, plus it includes a gala event, a gala dinner event. I normally skip those gala events and I just go hang out with the group. There's like a lot of other things that we could be doing, and as Tom could attest, I'm a big night owl. Like I love this. No, I don't. I'm the opposite. But this particular one, I mean, they have like, and at our table we're going to be. There's like Damon John. There's a lot of other people that were Wizards of Ecom. We're gonna, because you use the code for this group to go, we're going to be sitting with some pretty amazing people at that table. As I know those people, you're going to get them. One of them right now is Damon John, that we'll be at the table with, and not, or at our group of table. Obviously, we have 150 people, but we're not all going to fit at the same table. But at our tables. So we're gonna be able to interact, and there's going to be a lot of other people there. There's gonna be a lot of like movers and shakers in the TikTok space that we're gonna be able to connect with. That's a big thing that we're focusing on moving forward if you're in e-commerce. Highly recommend you go to this one, and I'm speaking. You can skip that one though if you want, but I'm speaking, so I'd love the support.
What will you be speaking on?
There's a few topics that we're looking at, but it's gonna be something, it's probably gonna, ironically, if you see me speak at any other conferences I go to, a lot of the time, it's very difficult to get up here and do a meetup for 15 years and speak on something at an event that you haven't heard me speak on before. But I really don't present a lot on like tactics on Alibaba, or I don't present a lot on tactics for sourcing in China or things like that. I'll probably create something in that realm to present on, but there's 3 topics that I feel like I could present at like an expert level on, and depending on what they're able to cover, I'll cover whatever they don't. But you'll definitely know before you go, if that's the deciding reason, which would be awesome. What else? Eco-Create, we did the move, just keeping you guys updated on the move. We do plan on moving this location before the end of the year. We're still on track for September. I've visited 2 spots. They were great. This is, so for those of you that are here that see this is about 1,600, 1,700 square feet. We're trying to get a spot that's like 6,000 to 7,000 square feet. The 2 spots that I looked at were amazing, and they were in like the 3,500 to 4,500 square foot range. So worst comes to worst, we're at a place that's twice as big, but since we do have time on our side, I'm still looking, but just to keep you guys in the loop on that. When I do decide on the spot, I'll be sending a bunch of pictures, and I will say that, you know, thanks to a lot of people here in the group, instead of building out the whole place before we start, you're gonna be able to see this thing grow as we go. I'll build out the area where we're having these events, and the rest of it's gonna look like a place we just randomly moved into, right? So you'll be able to see this place. For those of you that started here, you get to see this place grow. You'll be able to see that next place grow, which is pretty awesome. All right, anybody have a pressing question before we just pop into Amazon? Yeah.
I was just wondering more about the low inventory fee.
What about it?
Can you explain more about it? Like, what is it that they're targeting? You know, if it's when you're sending in your inventory, it has to be like a certain amount, or you have to keep your inventory in stock?
I was hoping you'd elaborate more, but I'm not sure what you're talking about the no inventory fees.
No, low inventory.
Oh, the low inventory fees. Oh man, anybody want to weigh in on that a little better? When I think I've stopped paying attention to it, and I'm focusing, which is not, I don't think that's the way you do it, but it's so confusing to me. I know that not running out of stock, I'm going to send what I need to send to not run out of stock, and that's just what I'm focusing on. I think for low inventory fees to be an issue, yeah, it's just not an issue for me, so I'm not paying attention to it. I believe, and Amazon doesn't say this, so like if you send in a smaller amount of inventory where this could be an issue, and you're just slowly dripping in small amounts, and you're just trying to make sure you never run out, and you only have one because you're trying to avoid storage fees on Amazon, I think you're losing a lot of sales. Because very clearly, if you're in California searching for something, and I'm in Miami searching for something, we're not seeing the same results the same way, in the same position. So they're prioritizing with ads, with Amazon influencer videos, with everything else is showing up different for different people in different places. So the more coverage you have throughout the FBA system, the greater the likelihood that you're gonna get more sales, you're gonna get the buy box. So if you're not doing that, I think that's a greater problem than having too little and dealing with the low storage fees. Also, I don't see the low storage fee being that much of an issue for private label sellers or wholesalers, so it's not something I've had to deal with. I could see where it would hit an arbitrage seller like right in the mouth. Any arbitrage sellers want to talk about the low storage fees, I guess a little more intelligently than I just did?
I know, it's still kind of new, I haven't really like wrapped my head around it, but they always continually send us messages like, you know, there's select things that we do a little like retail arbitrage on, and we don't always have it stocked because it's sometimes hard to fulfill it. But they'll send us messages all the time, but I have yet to see any like really like consequential fees? Like, it seems a very, very small.
There is no fees, no low inventory fees for the first year.
No.
Yeah, there's no fees on
No,
that.
there is.
You
No,
guys
there
had
is-
an arm wrestle over it?
So, no, so what happened was that, and actually,
Yeah, they're gonna charge you, then they're gonna reimburse you.
yeah, they already reimbursed. Like I got the beginning of this month, huge credit. I had no idea what it was. It was categorized as other, and then I opened a case. They didn't say anything, and then 2 days ago, I received a message explaining that it was because of that they were reimbursing all that low inventory fees that they charged. But I believe they're charging them now, and yeah, it should impact people that are probably not getting consistent supply of the product. Even in wholesale, like if you're doing wholesale and stuff runs out of the stock, then I'm thinking too that because it gets higher, the fee gets higher, the less days of inventory that you have. Which is funny too, because usually when that happens, people that are reselling products raise their prices, right? So you might be able to offset some of that cost by just increasing your price as you run out of stock.
So if you have,
They're coming back.
if you have like.
No, they are. They are.
So they charge it, but they're gonna pay you back after?
No.
They don't?
They did that for the first month and a half, I think. But
But
now,
not for new ASINs, right?
no, for new ACs.
Really?
Yeah. I think there is some type of.
There is a period.
threshold.
There is a period. I think
Maybe
it's
a
like
period,
the first 6 months or
maybe a
something.
period,
like
and
that.
also, if your product sells less than the X number of units that they determine,
Exactly.
you don't pay.
Which is very difficult to calculate. No one knows exactly what's the amount of
I think
inventory.
I think that's.
It's
I
very,
mean, I
it's
think
a
they
bit
give it.
confusing
Is it?
on how they explain it.
I think Smart Scout actually, which is one of the sponsors, they sent an email, and I remember like, reading it at some point where they had established like a minimum amount of product velocity
Mhm.
for you to start get.
Per item, in the item, in the ASIN level. Like for this ASIN, you need to send X amount of inventory in order not to have the fee.
No,
You
like
mean
the
that?
fee is based on
The historical data from that.
based on the
ASIN.
number of days of sales that you have
Mhm.
Thank you.
in a stock, and how they calculate that. They have a formula for it, and I think we have access to that.
Okay.
But yeah, it's I think it's complicated just because you have to, probably do a lot of math to get a really clear picture as to
Mhm.
what does that mean, right? But I was curious, like you say that it's not an issue for you, and not only that, but also the fact that you aim to have a lot of inventory in stock so that also it appears, propagates through the entire network and more people buy it. Like what number of months worth of inventory do you aim for to have at all times? So to maximize for that, right?
Yeah, I'm keeping about 2.5 months.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know if it's a right or wrong thing either. Like we
Yeah.
were talking yesterday at breakfast, and that topic really came up, and Paul, who he shares his brand, so I mentioned it, Water Buffalo, Paul and Carmen and myself, we were all talking about, like, Ramon, how our logistics processes for sending stuff in, and some people were like anti-AWD because it's cost more, which was shocking to some of us, like how, and I'm talking a little bit of, it's definitely not a beginner hour thing, but it seems, all things being equal, I mean, there are probably some exceptions, but all things being equal, the route from, if you're selling on Amazon FBA, it is China, AGL, Amazon Global Logistics, to Amazon Warehouse Distribution Centers, which for the beginner hour, let's just call it FBA2, right? And then AWD or FBA2 sends into what we know as FBA. That seems to be the best way to dodge a lot of fees if that's your flow. But then we got into things like short-term, low storage fees, high storage fees. Should you ship DDP? Somebody was saying DDP is the most affordable way to send stuff into Amazon. And it was like foreign to me, so.
What is DDP?
Direct to door.
If you do AGL, Amazon Global Logistics, is there any placement fee?
No, there's no placement fee.
There's no placement fee if you go with them.
Right. Right, and when you're sending stuff into, and the other hack here is like depending on how you have your master boxes configured, AWD charges $5 per box that they get. Not, if that master box has 10 boxes inside of it, it's still $5 for the box.
Yeah.
So if your current configuration is 2 boxes of 10, and you can get away with 1 box of 20, I highly recommend doing the 1 box of 20.
Is there any size restriction? Because I can get like a big ass box and
No,
put
there
all
is a
the-
size
you know,
restriction.
there
I don't
should be.
remember the exact dimensions, but there is one.
Yeah. ¿Qué tal?
It's a little bigger than what you see on FBA, so it's not that much different, but it's just, there's some inefficiencies that we've been able to get away with for a long time in shipping stuff in, and it was just like, a lot of people, their master box configuration is just whatever they ordered the first time from China, there was no need. It was like I'm ordering a container, it doesn't matter. But if you can, even if you can add a box or 2 into that master box, and the cost of talking to your factory and just saying you want your configuration to be different is nothing. So why not do it is the idea. Yep.
We'll caution you on AGL. AGL does take a little bit longer to get in, and so does AWD. So if you're sending stuff in for the first time to AWD from here to AWD, just make sure you have inventory in your Amazon listing, or else we have stuff that's 3-4 weeks and still not in yet. So AWD does take longer, and AGL does take longer. On the flip side, AWD will save you a lot of money instead of sending it to FBA, and AGL will save you a lot of money as well. So get your initial, my advice, get your initial inventory in, then go play around with AGL and AWD.
Okay, but you can do AGL straight to FBA. Doesn't have to go through AWD first, right? I mean, ideally, yes.
It doesn't have to go to AWD.
Ideally, yes, because you want to have stock there, just not to run out of inventory, but
Right,
you can go straight.
You can go straight, you can ship straight
Yeah, yeah,
into
okay.
FBA.
Okay.
But, once again, you're gonna ship into FBA and you're gonna have a placement fee.
Right.
Whereas
Okay.
AWD,
Okay.
AWD, you're not
Okay.
gonna have a
Got it,
placement
got
fee.
it. That was my question, okay.
In almost every scenario that I've ran, with the exception of
Okay.
Paul's, and Paul knows his stuff, I didn't look at the numbers, but I feel like Paul knows his stuff. His is not, like, his doesn't make sense for it to do it that way, like, it's more,
There are certain things that don't make sense for us either. It's better to send it in FBA than it is to send it.
because
to-
you're prohibited from sending, or?
No, it's not the consumable stuff yet, it's just other stuff that it makes more sense to send in FBA, it's cheaper, I don't know how.
Yeah, I'm sure there is exceptions, like you're mentioning and Paul's mentioning as of yesterday, but as of yesterday, I hadn't ran into any
I
that
would
I
say
was like.
95% of everybody that sends something in, it's cheaper AWD, just plan for it, plan an extra 4 weeks.
But that's even if you have the inventory in your warehouse, so if you have your warehouse and you have the inventory there and you ship it to AWD, whereas?
You can
Yes,
ship it.
you're gonna need to arrange a shipment for them to come and pick it up in pallets. It has to be picked up in pallets
Yeah.
to go to AWD. It's a warehouse distribution service. These are not boxes. These are not master
Yeah.
boxes. It's a pallet. You have to schedule a pallet to come and pick it up, and then they send it in from your warehouse.
So it's cheaper for you to send it to have a warehouse, send it straight to AWD?
Yes.
Yes.
And then get it to?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Because of
Just
the
it's gonna
placement
take
fee.
longer. Because
Shocking.
remember, I'm avoiding the placement
The
fee.
placement fee is just
And
what-
some wholesalers I know are almost like adding 40% to their margin just by having it at their warehouse and going it out.
But I mean, what if you choose not to place, well, is it cheaper than not paying the placement fee?
Is yes, AWD is cheaper than paying the placement fee and sending it to FBA. So you have 2 choices, right? You have door number 1, FBA, which is what you've always done.
But in that door, you can choose to pay placement fees or not pay placement fees, right?
On AWD? No,
No.
AWD, there is no placement.
No,
fees.
in FBA, in regular FBA, like you can choose to not pay placement fees, but you ship to 5 different locations.
Yeah, but at the end,
Yeah,
you're
but have you seen
shipping
the
5
shipping price on
different
that?
ones, so.
What?
Have you seen the shipping price on that?
Yeah, it's higher, but it's
I mean,
much,
it's
it's like
paying-
half than paying placement fees, at least.
No,
Not-
paying
not-
the
not
fee
everyone.
and going to one place, and usually actually the West Coast, is cheaper than distributing.
Right.
across.
Really?
Yeah.
To me,
Yes.
no. To me, it's like.
Yeah,
the other way
so that's
around.
the other one. I don't know if you were listening in before, but we were talking about basically that conversation. And yeah, so China, AGL, or you were doing China, AGL, West Coast.
Yeah, I mean, the shipping to the East Coast looks, I mean, the shipping in one would look less than the other one, but because of the placement fee also changes, it's actually better to send to the West Coast, which is a higher shipping but lower fee. You gotta always do all the combinations to see which one it is, but it's one of those, like, it seems like the opposite of what it should be, but, you know, it's Amazon, so.
See what you started with your question? Very beginner question, and now it's like acronym soup.
I would just tell you, think about this from the Amazon point of view. 70% of all sellers on Amazon are Chinese. Who are they catering to? AGL from China to AWD, so there's no need for them to have a 3PL sending right into their warehouse and distribution services. They're gonna penalize you if you don't have enough inventory, if you run out of stock. But if you have it in AWD, you won't run out of stock because it's on them to kind of place your stuff. That's my
My short answer to combat short-term storage fees, you're not gonna like. I mean, you do what you do because this is how you're doing it, but I would start developing a plan out of the arbitrage scene. Because I think how they're gonna start stacking or like skewing everything towards AWD and short-term storage fees, I think is, I'm not saying it's dead. Like, you know, if you're willing to figure it out, you're gonna make it work, but it's looking pretty grim.
But it's crazy what they're doing because they want to control everything there's involved in the logistics. And
Yeah, and
they forcing us to do that.
Yeah, there's another crazy
by
thing
putting
going
fees.
on that I think I do this exercise. I haven't always done it, but I'd say for the last like 6 or 7 years I've done it, and I did a podcast episode on it, but it's putting myself out of business. Like, what are the things that are happening that could like be an extinction event in my business or just like completely upend everything? And I used to do it weekly, but it's too exhausting and too demoralizing. I probably do it now at least every other month. But something that I would keep an eye on is eBay is actually trying to rally all their sellers to combat something that's happening, where they're trying to pass a bill to where you need permission from a brand to be able to resell their product online. Like it's an online consumer act. I don't know if they're gonna get that pulled, if they're gonna get that passed, but if I was an arbitrage seller, like the fact that people are trying to push that is like, okay, like, I would be concerned. Yeah. But I would also milk it until the very last second if that's what I was doing. But just with some thought towards,
Getting out of it.
yeah, getting out of it, yeah.
If I'm completely out of stock, should I just delete that listing, or is it fine to keep it there?
I get rid of it. When you're done selling the product, do you keep it as,
Yeah, like if I'm out of stock.
You don't have to sell it.
So if I'm out of stock, right, and gonna be out of stock for a while, should I delete the listing, or if I leave it, because if I leave it there, would I get charged?
No, you will not get charged. No.
want to make Mighty Daddy feel uncomfortable, let's clap when she walks in. All right. Dare I ask for another? Yeah. Oh, we got questions online. Let's do it. Pass.
I got one question. So with FBA, is it advantageous? Because usually we try to do just the minimal cost to get it in. We always pick East Coast. Do you recommend we like switch it up sometimes and send the West Coast, Central, to get
I would
better?
play with all of them and see what's the most affordable for you. Yeah, I don't know anything different. I just see what makes the most sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have a preference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the two questions on the stream here are, which hotel will the Alibaba event be at?
Paris.
Yeah, the event is at the Paris Hotel, and do you remember the names that I told you?
Paris?
It's at the Paris, but within the Paris, there's 2 towers, and it's in one of the towers at the Paris Hotel.
Paris is like central. Paris is across from the Bellagio, so center of the strip and good.
It's decent.
Yeah, it's good.
Caliber. And then the
Also, yeah, it'll be in one of the towers of the Bellagio Hotel, so it's at the hotel of the place, so you don't have to deal with Uber, you don't have to deal with any of that.
And then the second question, someone's asking, or Steve is asking, are you still considering the retreat?
Absolutely. Yeah, my focus right now has been mostly on the move that's coming up, but I still want to do a retreat. I would say realistically, like early part of this year, or early part of next year, which would be announcing it pretty soon. I just wanna square away the actual move, just because it's gonna be a big move.
No.
So, but yes, 100%, still gonna do the retreat. Now what, for those of you that don't know, the retreat would be one of the annual events that we would do as a community. The specifics surrounding it, I don't know. As of right now, it's a series of like mega mansions and a lot of activities. Obviously, things like, you get a mansion, it sounds so cool, right? It's like a 50-room mansion, amazing. But then you realize from running the event side, well, if you buy a ticket and you buy a ticket, I can't just say, good luck, you guys are, meet your roommate, you know what I mean? That's not what you signed up for, you know what I mean? Like, so the logistics behind doing that is something I've not done before, so I'm just trying to figure that out and making some tweaks. But the idea is to put a lot of amazing people together, that where there's not a lot of overlap between different people's expertise, and have a lot of activities at the event to help everybody level up. So I'm shooting for it to be one of the most impactful for your business events that you can do, and for fun. So I think it'll be great.
Thank you.
Any other questions? No? All right. Since I didn't have a listing that I discovered, because I haven't been just going to some random listings while we're here, I've been finding something during the week. And this week has been a lot of like bookkeeping and accounting and like Walmart stuff, unfortunately. I'm gonna go back to one of the listings that we found last week that I actually shockingly like. And how it came across was, and I'll share my screen in a second for the stream, but how it came about was, somebody I know has a connection with a factory in Brazil for like shampoos and all this other stuff. And she was like, what do you think I should do? So I feel like Brazilian shampoo is like where money goes to die on Amazon, right? It's like, the keyword is saturated, the competition's really fierce. So I was gonna try to help her out though, and I went in and I did the pre-software way of looking for products, which is typing a word and then one other letter and just seeing what comes up, which I'm gonna do in a second, but let me share the screen. And I found a product that I really like, so maybe we'll just use that as a jumping off point for today. Let's do this. So what I like to do as far as the products I like to be, and I like to be, I call it stairway to PL, but I like to be about 4 categories removed, or 4 subcategories removed from a main category. No right or wrong here. If yours is completely different, that's okay. This is just the way I'd like to do it. I think what motivated me a lot into doing this is when I started, there wasn't a big budget to really go at some of like, I couldn't afford to go at fat burner or weight loss, and all this other like very expensive keywords. So one of the other benefits is there's a lot of low-hanging fruit in these sub-niches. The example I share a lot is what I mean by categories removed. If we're talking about bowls, ceramic bowls, ceramic soup bowls, and then we get into the 4th one, we said ramen noodle, ceramic soup bowl. So that category, looks great. And I like to explore that area. Then I like to see if I have 40 different products that I could add. I don't order 40 at the same time, and I choose a hero product. But this one, I did a similar exercise, and I was like, shampoo. Shampoo for pets. I was like, that's vague. Like, somebody that searches shampoo for pets, I don't even know if they have an animal, shampoo for cats, but it's still super vague. And shampoo for dogs, shampoo for pets. It's still a huge category. Cats is less competitive than dogs, but still, it's an uphill battle. But then I went into specific breeds and found this. Some of you have seen it. I had seen these online. I did not know what they were called, but apparently they're called Sphinx cats. And when I was going through it, this is the only one that looks like they put anything into the branding, and I think it could have done a lot better. Calling out this that we mentioned last week, when we're going to be talking about main images later, this has nothing to do with a rubber ducky, but they're trying to communicate a bath and cleanliness, and obviously a rubber ducky does a good job of communicating that. Wholesome ingredients, they show the pomegranate. So I feel like these people are doing a good job. I'm really wondering if anyone knows about these cats. Is there such a thing as a purple Sphinx cat, or is that AI, or did they Photoshop that to get someone's attention? But when we went in here, we saw what I think is a ton of opportunity in this niche. Did anyone follow up on it, by the way? Did anyone start exploring it? You did? And what did you discover?
I went to the tropical.
Yeah? Did you get a reply?
No, no. I
Yeah.
haven't. But I just.
Saw it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, there's plenty of factories like that, but the one that I think Tom had found at one point, and then, was it you that set it up? A tour with Ed, or a factory in Boston. The reason we don't talk about him as much anymore is he apparently his weak spot is responding to people, which is pretty big. But, right? Responding to a whole group of people that want to spend money with him. There was a bunch, like Dan and a few others that were like, can you just answer and tell me where to send the money? But doesn't respond. But anyhow.
He hit the ground running in the pandemic, and he had 2 factories that were just unbelievable to hit going into the pandemic. One was, clearly in the pandemic, everybody wanted like the cleaning solutions for your hand, disinfectants. So he was just running like crazy with that. His other factory, called Ammo and Bullet, he was a bullet manufacturer. So imagine the 2 factories that you actually had before the pandemic went through the roof. A bullet manufacturer.
Yeah, so we did a tour, the guy was great. If anything, he overshared. Like, so it was, for our side, for doing a tour, that was amazing. But something like this would be like 80 cents. I mean, maybe with the packaging and everything, $1.20. 4.2 ounces, I wanna say it's 8 ounces, or that amount. But we saw this was a lot of opportunity. I think at the end of it, we decided that this was one of the better looking ones that actually had the cat. But this looks like the #1 seller in this space, which is pretty horrible in every aspect of the listing. But bundling, perhaps, you know, these together, plus there was, what was the, this one was bad. What was the, or the strips? Here. Shower caps for cats. I would consider bundling all of them together, which also let us know what is actually on the head of this. Would look like a baby pig, but I think they would have done a good job of putting it together. Yeah.
It's a hat, right?
Yeah, it's a hat. It's a shower cap for a cat. I'm trying to imagine how the degree of how pissed off that cat would be getting shampooed and having a cap on. But that's the exercise we did. Any particular products that you guys have an idea that you want to like explore? Is there a category you want to explore, and I can talk it out loud on whether I like the product, what I like, what I don't like? We haven't done that since I don't have any products queued up to talk about. Nobody?
Maybe
What
like
about-
something in food, like the food category, like would you, some thoughts, ideas?
What else?
Dog waste catcher.
A what?
Dog waste picker or catcher.
Oh God. Oh, you picked a hard one. Okay. Well, food or a pooper scooper?
I'm seeing kind of like snacks or
I
something.
mean, like,
Lubricants.
Lubricants. Wow.
For zippers.
Well, actually, want to do that? Okay. It's been a while since we've done that one. I like that one. Let's go with that, and let me digest food. Let me digest food and whatever. Because the thing is, a lot of the foods that, no, I like it. I like the food. But just that a lot of the foods that used to be like the go-to to talk about, I feel like I'm on landmines now because there's so many people I know in the group that are doing different foods, and it's very easy to rabbit hole from one to another. So it's like I need to think about it a little bit before I start doing teardowns of it. But listen to this. So we go to this factory, and we're walking the assembly lines, by the way, of this factory. And one of the first assembly lines we go by, he goes, oh, look at this. He picks up this product, it's about this size, package. I think it was green and black, and he says, this is silicone cleaner. And I'm like, silicone cleaner? I was like, yeah, of course, that's great product. And I'm walking away like, what's a silicone cleaner? Like, who cleans their silicone, right? Like, what in the world is this thing? Looking at the brand. It wasn't until I came back, and not to call out Andres, I think it was Andres that pointed this out, right? You want to say what it's for, silicone cleaner?
Zippers?
No, not zippers. It's for bongs.
Oh, that's right.
It happened to be for like bongs and like cleaning your smoking paraphernalia. But apparently you can't say this is clean your weed device, you know what I mean? Or it's not gonna work on Amazon, so they call it silicone cleaner. And apparently everyone that needs to clean their paraphernalia, they know what this is, and that's how you search for it. Anybody that was not listening to that and they had in their title a call out as to what that product was about, they couldn't run ads. It was like considered like a paraphernalia type thing that Amazon's not gonna let you promote. So it was pretty slick on their part. But one of the other things that was, this wasn't one at their factory, this is one that we found outside of the factory, right? I can't remember at
Which
this
one
point, but
which one?
we didn't see the zipper cleaner there,
Well,
right?
we decided to get into that after we started looking at cloning.
Right, so after that, everyone we're looking at it, like, let's look at all the, basically his thing was anything liquid in a bottle was the factor. So we're like, okay, let's reverse this and say, how would you approach this knowing you have this awesome source in Boston that's willing to do it? Like, what's anything liquid in a bottle? One of the things we found is zipper cleaner. Has anyone ever heard of zipper cleaner? It's pretty awesome. Look at this. $24.99. Look at it. Clamshell packaging, crappy, right? $24.99. Let me see. So zipper cleaner and lubricant. At this stage, especially for this one, what you see, I literally, I'll be naive and I'll just go ahead and say it. I was like, am I missing out on something? Because I've never got my jeans and like just ran the zipper up. I said, you know what? It's not pulling the right way. Let me lubricate this thing right. I've never done it, but it's actually, I don't think anyone's ever done that with their jeans. But apparently, what this is for is like Jeep zipper covers. I don't know if it also does scuba.
So it's the Jeep convertible top that comes up, those parts and pieces get stuck together. Like the zippers become very hard because they're out on the beach or whatever, so they get a lot of sand and they dry out, so the lubricant actually makes it go smoother and easier. Or
Yeah.
lawn furniture too, like the
Sure, lawn
zipper
furniture too.
on the.
But come to find out, I still like this category. What's up, bro? I personally still like this category. I think it would be very easy to come up with a better title than B-Stop 1121600 zipper cleaner and lubricant. And it would also be very easy to, I mean, heck, we're actually gonna have an example later that's similar to this one, but you would think that if their number one client was, I don't know, lawn furniture or Jeeps, that they would have some images here that said that, right? Even this, I'm not even sure what that is that they're putting it on.
Zipper.
A zipper, yeah, but like, that's a
No, yeah,
zipper.
but
What is that? Is that a suitcase?
Backpack,
I didn't know what it was.
Luggage.
luggage.
Did you know?
Jacket.
Jacket? Okay, so some of you guys are not sure because we're not even on the same page, right? Yeah. But I guess it could be each.
Or everything, you know, it's genius because you don't know, so you think it's your
Yeah,
need. You
that
know.
works.
It's not genius. It's.
I don't think it was genius, but I have seen that. And someone said bad images convert best. It was like a LinkedIn post and said bad images convert best if all your competitors are having amazing images. Somebody said, what's the one that stands out? If you're going by that test, then something that's not that good would work. I mean, there's nothing on here that even says what you apply it to, besides zippers, metal zippers. So, I don't know. Oh, here we go, specific uses.
Yeah. You already-
Yeah, okay. Let's see what else we could do in the zipper cleaner category.
Just do lubricants.
Just straight up lubricant?
Yep. Well, lubricants 4 and let it populate, right?
Oh, sure, let's do it.
Lubricants
4 for privacy. I'm
Just
scared.
just put it.
For privacy and toys, I am not clicking. No way.
Just do a space bar and go, hey, see what that comes up with.
Tom, I feel like you're setting me up.
No, just.
Anti-seize lubricants, grease. Oh my God. Let's put a B. Can't get worse. Oh my God.
Put elliptical machines, treadmills,
Let's put,
garage door openers,
Sleepers.
sewing machines.
okay, what is this? For privacy and gel, we're not doing that.
You're in a dangerous category
Yeah,
there.
Tom set it up. Let's see what we got. Well, this is a big brand. I used to resell them.
So cheap.
Braun is huge. Look at this. Man, that's one thing that we're gonna cover later, like, some of these brands that have been around forever, or they just got in early on Amazon and they're doing good, you're looking at them and you're like, well, they're not doing it. And it's like, yeah, you gotta think that you're also not that brand.
You also don't have 61,000 reviews.
Right. OXO actually has a lot of examples of stuff that they're just clearly leaving on the table. And it's like, yeah, well, you know what, you're not OXO, or OXO. Is it OXO, or they call themselves OXO? Let me see. I'm looking at this and I'm wondering if there's an applicant. So I guess you apply it, no, that's for the.
Do one for treadmill.
Oh, I like this. Actually having a treadmill on the model, that's good.
8,000 sales.
I want to know what was going on in that meeting. What are we looking at? 8,000 sales
Yikes.
and 989. I think you could sell this for more. I mean, they obviously like where they're at and they're doing well, but I seriously doubt you invest. I feel like this is one of those things that you invest in a treadmill, you're not looking for the cheapest lubricant to go on your treadmill. So I wonder how much of this is like defense, and they're just like trying to discourage people from entering the space. But I like where this person's at, $18.99. I mean, $9.89 on Amazon. I don't want to click on this person's ad. I feel like it's bad juju. But where is this person's
Go to
listing?
number 1, right there on the right.
Oh yeah, there it is.
You have so many extensions there that.
I know. I need to get rid of. Here we go. Let's click on this one. Yeah, it's not even like a loss leader. It's like $9.89. Again, kind of going this. I don't know if that Boston factory can make something like this, but assuming the pricing is similar, 4.2 ounces.
I mean, 4.2 ounces is small.
Huh?
That's not a lot.
Right, it is very small. But 4.2 ounces, that's probably like 40 cents
Yeah.
to do. So at $9.89, there is something. But at 8,000 units, you probably made $3,000.
I got a thought here, as you're doing that, you mentioned,
Oh, wifey and my kids are showing up. This
like
year.
a special visit.
Yep. Everybody be on your best behavior. Everybody be on your best behavior.
Yeah, no, let's not talk about.
Let's act like we're talking about work, everybody.
Change the topic quick, change the product.
You missed me, okay, give me a kiss. Mwah. Get up, you can sit up here if you want. All right, so yeah, I mean, yeah, the margin has to be amazing. I'm wondering what is, you want to sit on my lap while you do this? Okay, be up first. All right, we're not buying anything. Yeah, I really feel like they could sell this for more. I mean, seriously, this can't be a price sensitive type of product. What would you bundle
Do
this
you have
with?
Keepa there to see if they try to bigger price?
Watch me have everything but Keepa on this
Oh,
computer. Well, I have Jungle Scout.
So,
God, 9,209 sales. Unbelievable.
Carlos, what I was mentioning there was you mentioned like a loss leader. Would you consider listing a product on Amazon and then having like, I think sometimes, we haven't played with this, but you could like add other ancillary products to the purchase, like, okay, here's the lubricant, here's like a case.
I feel like
here's
that's working really well right now with variations.
Yeah.
Just because it's so easy to choose the different variations. There's a really good example we talked about, like, was it last week or 2 weeks ago? And Zule Kitchen, Aaron, he's doing that really well with one of his frother listings in the variation has Duracell. So he has the Duracell batteries in it, and he actually calls it out, which has extremely high search volume. That particular one, you would think if you got the permission to add Duracell and everything, you're like, I'm gonna sell that for more. But he sells it for less. And it's acting as a loss leader. He's been talking about it on LinkedIn. It seems to be doing pretty amazing, doing it that way, so. Está comprando. All right, what else we got?
same year.
Any other comment? Well, what do you think we could, what do you guys think we could bundle with this lubricant if we wanted to sell it for more? Like, I don't have a treadmill, so I don't know what we would get. I'm not gonna put a mat with it, because a mat would be too heavy. But I guess there's gotta be an applicant. Is that what these little things are?
Yeah.
Cleaning wipe.
Cleaning wipe. I noticed these bend. Treadmill lubricant. Oh, this is the packaging.
I mean, a treadmill cover.
Right, but anytime I'm looking at, when I'm looking at a product and I'm thinking about like, if I wanted to bundle it together, or if I wanted to create something that had a higher price point, I don't wanna add something to this that's gonna throw off, like, I add in a cover, we might be going into an oversized product. If I add a mat, we've now made this thing super heavy. So I really don't wanna do anything that's gonna tip the apple cart with that. A cloth, like a wipe, would work.
Yeah, but how much value you really adding to cloth?
I don't think a lot, no. And apparently this is enough in this category. Yeah. Gloves?
Gloves, yeah, possibly.
Possibly gloves, yeah, but this is an applicator here. I think the applicator does it. Let me see.
An app.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Nobody doing it.
Hold on. Let's see. Yeah, no, I don't think gloves are a thing that's there. An app would be great. I think I got an example of that here. No, we're not getting balloons. That was a bad one to pick. But you see
Yeah,
the,
buy it.
you see
Buy
the
it.
app. No, we're getting off that one. But you see what I'm talking about the app right down here?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that would work. ¿Quieres ir con tía Ramón? ¿Y con tía Tom? All right. Well, we're close to the 2 p.m. one anyway. Hope to have some other products queued up before the next one when we do the beginner. Any questions though? Amazon related, anything on the stream before we get into the next section? Any issues anyone had during the week that they want to get troubleshot? No?
How is that fourth product making any money at $6.98?
900 unit, I don't know. Well, clicking in here, I'm wondering if they have variations.
They're all $6.98.
All at 698, no.
I mean, yeah, balloons are not expensive, but still, $6.98.
Yeah, I don't know. Ironically though, this particular one with the app selling for $17.99 at the highest price is really good. And really good argument for having, how do you say, having the app on the listing?
Because you need apps when you want to blow balloons.
You can make it fit anywhere, but yeah, going back to our, is it up there, is it the treadmill? No, where's our treadmill listing? Right here. We're dealing with this. If I had just because I have a treadmill doesn't mean that I know how to apply the lubricant. Heck, the Peloton I had for a while, I wasn't using it because it was starting to make a noise. There's a lot of other reasons why I wasn't using it, but it was starting to make a noise, and I started going online to figure out. I had the oil lubricant, but I was like, I don't know how to apply this. And you go online, and it's very easy. You just remove the whole face of this thing and tools, and I'm like, I'm not gonna do that. How am I gonna put this thing back together? Like, you know,
I mean,
so.
how are you ever gonna write it again after that?
Yeah, for this point, I gotta turn it back into the clothes hanger that it had become. But I wound up having to get rid of it, obviously. No, but if I would have had an app showing me, you know, dedicated to this, on how to do it, maybe with a live chat that someone could like walk me through it and send pictures, I would have bought it. So, and I would have paid more for it. Okay. All right, so let's do this. Do I show my screen? Okay. All right, I'm all over the place
Your screen's
today.
still showing.
Huh?
Your screen's still showing.
Okay, so we're gonna do some listing teardowns. I made some notes here, if you see me looking over here, just because there's a lot of stuff to cover, and I feel like getting it in the right order is what's gonna make sense. But like I mentioned earlier in the beginner hour, it's sort of like external superiority is what I call it. So if the more established you are off of Amazon, the more you can get away with being complacent on Amazon. So there's some big brands, like we looked at some of them and it's like, wow, that listing kind of sucks, but they're selling 600 units a month. It doesn't mean you should model them. It means it's an opportunity. But you will see some, like what I call external superiority, just creates complacency and opportunities, is kind of how I look at it. Some of the stuff we're gonna go over today, you're gonna see some of that. But many of the best practices, I guess, that I'm gonna go through now, most of you are probably ignoring. It's so rare that, and I'm gonna keep pointing to this one, and later on I'm gonna find a few other ones that I'm like, this is an excellent listing and this is why. But going back to this listing, and this stands out even more on mobile, on why it's a great listing, because this badge, when you're on mobile, appears right here. So it like gives even more impact to this listing when you're looking at it on mobile. But several things here that this is doing right, and I'm gonna try to hit them in order so this makes sense. So one of the things you wanna try to pull off with your listing, if possible, is a badge. It could be the Amazon's Choice badge, it could be the bestseller badge. If you can pull that off and have that showing up in the main image, that's pretty huge. The other thing you wanna consider really is when you're looking at a listing, ask yourself, and I didn't know how to word this one right until I recently took a course on something totally unrelated on YouTube. It used to take me like 10 minutes to describe what I was about to say, but it's really the hierarchy that's going on right now. So, and the hierarchy in all of the main images is super important. So imagine if instead, like right now, what is the first thing in this image that you see? What catches your eye? The coffee, right? Not the answer I was looking for, but this, it's all good.
What did you,
This,
sorry, what did you ask?
what would you say is said another way, the hero in this image? Like the main thing that's being presented?
Either the packaging or the actual product.
The packaging or the actual product. In this case, the packaging actually shows the product as well.
But this is, it's a little bit misleading, no? Because I wouldn't put anything that I'm not selling. I don't think this guy's selling a cup of coffee, right?
Correct.
I don't know. It's a little bit like it's too much going on, no?
Yeah.
Can be distracting, but the packaging, it's very nice, and keywords in there. So yeah.
Lifetime warranty.
Right, so if instead of this being here, this size, instead you have these variations popping up over here, the hierarchy would be off. And again, using that word, I just learned it recently, like the importance of it, I guess, with thumbnails, you know what I mean? So the order of which you have things presented really matters. If your product is giftable or you are going after giftable, think about it. Like if you have how many people here, does anybody here have a product, by the way, that they have created and they're like, this is a giftable product?
Yeah.
Right. So is there anything visually in your main image that says this is giftable? I'm not saying you need to do this. This is a bit extreme in my opinion, but this person learned that there is just an insane percentage of his actual buyers are buying this as a gift for somebody else. And look, he's getting over 70,000 sales in the last month. 70,000. Right, on this video, yeah. So gifting was, he wanted to call that out because of how important it was for the listing, but is there anything on your listing that says, you know, giftable? Right.
No, not
Right.
in the main image.
But if it is giftable, why is it not there? It's extremely important. The other one is when we're going to go buy something, even when we are buying on Amazon, we're just human beings, the way we purchase, there's risk. Amazon does a great job of this, and it's why they are what they are, and have the conversion rates they do, because they, no questions asked, being able to return the product. But one of the other things that we do like to see is warranty. This covers it. In the main image, it's obviously throughout the listing as well, but here we go. I mean, right there on the side. We had somebody buy the product, actually has this product, that's not on the box. None of that stuff's on the box, right? So, you're gonna go? Be good. Put your mom on, okay? I miss you too, Papa. Okay, so lifetime warranty called out right there, that addresses one of the risks.
What is lifetime warranty even mean? Like, are they, you lose it, they send you another one?
No,
Anytime no, there's a whole bunch of other things, but I used to be scared in the beginning to put lifetime warranty, and we did. It helps with conversions, and
Does
almost
nothing.
nobody executes on it. So I'm very pro lifetime warranty, but do what you wanna do with your product. I mean, when's the last time you executed on a lifetime warranty for a product that was $9.99?
Never.
Right, right. But at least psychologically, this checks for some people that this is less risky for this product. The other risk is, you know, who else is using it and their arm hasn't fallen off? You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's social validation. Obviously, that accomplishes it here on reviews. I feel like a lot of people will just rely on that. This person is actually adding it. Over 5 million sold. That is proof.
Is that actually on the package?
It's not, no.
So what if like?
As a matter of fact, the first week we looked at it, it was. The next week, it was removed, remember last week?
Yeah.
And this week it's back. So
Back.
this person at 70,000 units a month is testing.
So if I receive this picture, this product in this picture, I probably will say this is false information. There's no ribbon on the top.
In reality, I mean, I don't know your buying habits, but in reality, you wouldn't have even noticed.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, you're noticing,
Cause you're talking.
first of all, you have a keener eye for that because you're a seller,
Yeah.
right? But even as a seller, when you bought this, you're not gonna have noticed,
Yeah.
right? So this one does a phenomenal job. So the calls out the giftability, the badge, the hierarchy's right. You have the risk showing the warranty, you're checking that. You have the risk for the social proof, it's showing it. This other one is a powerful one, and I've just tested this a bazillion different ways, and is to have your main keyword visible in the main image. Tested this, I've never seen this fail. You will increase your conversions if you have your main image.
Click-through rate.
Huh?
Your
Your click-through rate. You're gonna increase your click-through rate if you have your main keyword in the main image. He has it. Milk frother with stand. So milk frother and probably milk frother with stand. It is in there. It's a lot easier to do that when you have your packaging visible in the main image. That if you have ugly packaging, like if this came in a brown box, and this image was showed and you received the brown box, you would notice that, right? So you can't pull this off unless you've, you know, did good packaging and brought it into the image, right? So that's huge.
And you can test different keywords.
Absolutely.
I tested and it works.
You stole my thunder, it's 100% right.
It works.
You can swap this out and test it. So new keyword you're going for, you think one will convert, you know, one will get a better click than the other, swap it.
So, question here, would it be wrong or not a good business practice to put like really nice packaging on the listing and then really just ship it in like a plain vanilla box?
No,
That would be okay to do?
That would be bad.
That'd be bad,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. What you don't want to do is the extreme, like you have to have something nice if you're going to put something nice. We're just talking about swapping out some of the elements on the nice thing, not putting lipstick on a pig type of thing, like not, you know, poly mailer.
'Cause-
You receive this in a poly mailer, there's an issue going on. Like now you're looking at this, you're like, where's my ribbon? Where's my 5 million sold? You know, like.
Because I've actually bought things. I'm a big fan of Bose products, and I've bought things from Bose, and they'll ship it to me brand new, and they'll ship it to me in like a very plain, like almost like, I don't know, just like shipping box, and it's not the shipping box that they actually put it in. but the
So-
packaging, yeah.
So I'm assuming your question got picked up by the audio, right? By the way, is anyone mentioning the audio? I'm thinking.
They
thanks,
said,
between- everything's
Steve
good. Okay,
said
so
the audio's good.
they're catching your audio. So a few things. One, we're going back to what I said earlier, so much so that I wrote it down, because I knew we were gonna come back to this, but external superiority establishes complacency in some brands, complacency in some brands. Bose can package it however they want.
Basically.
Right? And there is actually a movement or a trend to go towards more eco-friendly packaging. Like, so we, at some point, we may move away from stuff like this unless there's a high giftability component to the product, right? But yeah, I've received some Apple products in brown, Ecom friendly, eco-friendly, and I was like, is this real?
You think it's for security purposes, like to have an unmarked box?
Could be, yeah, but, so Bose can do that. But Bose could just decide, you know, it's, I don't know what mark, what the color is for, or what month, St. Patrick's Day, they can decide to ship it to you in green packaging that month. There's a lot of things that they can do. You don't wanna pull that off. What you wanna do is get to where Bose is at and then start playing around.
Quick question on that. We're talking about packaging. I'm trying to launch this new product, and I'm in between putting it on a premium zipper poly bag or in a carton box. And I'm thinking about the returns. So my question is, I don't want the returns to, like, you know, come to my house or the 3PL or anything like that. I want Amazon, when it receives the product, to say, okay, it's sellable again, and put it available for sale. So I've seen a lot of sellers putting in this zipper poly bag, because at the end, when people are returning the product, they're putting it back, zipper, and it's kind of like as new as if it wasn't open.
You're saying you do want returns to go back into sellable inventory?
Is it?
I would be very terrified of that personally.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, like they put it back in, but like say it's this, but they decided, I forgot to put the stand back in, or I'm gonna keep the stand.
I left
They
some,
put it-
I left
they
some,
put it
I
in
left
the
some,
milk
I left some
and they
coffee
eat
on
all
it.
crusty.
No, not only that,
They did it with the milk, and then they just like shook it off and dropped it. There's a bazillion reasons I wouldn't do
Not
that.
only that, you know, there's always a smart customer that returns something else as your product, right, with the package
Yeah,
or
yeah, that's
whatever,
right.
that goes back to inventory that resells, outside it looks perfect, and then it's like somebody receives
It only
something.
takes one random hair
It is
Yeah,
crazy.
no, you're right.
to show up in that, and you're done.
I did it for a while and it just
No,
was a mess.
okay.
Yeah, I would avoid it at all costs, yeah.
Okay.
I would say it's a cool exercise to think of what is a way to design your packaging that makes it impossible to be accepted back as new. Like, I would even do it to say you gotta rip this thing open to get it. So if it's ripped open, they're not gonna take it back because it's ripped open.
Yeah, exactly. As long as there's tape, and in order to open the package, you need to rip off the tape. That's gonna be unsellable
Are
already.
you selling apparel, or what are you selling?
No, floor mats.
Floor mats?
Probably a much smaller return rate on something like that, but I'm not saying you need to go the rip route. I'm saying usually I'm trying to think of what's the way to make it impossible to get this used return product put back into stock
Okay.
that way.
Then I need to change completely my mind.
So,
That's
so
good.
what- so
It
are
was
you
worth
going-
the trip then.
Are you
Yeah.
going, you're going with the box then, right?
Yes, because then I can put the keyword stuff and
Right,
main
so-
image.
So go, my advice, go with the box, buy extra boxes, so when you order, I hope you're ordering from China, the boxes.
Uh-huh. Yeah, everything from
Everything
China.
there, so it's gonna be nice and tight, and when you do get the returns and you make sure they're in good shape, and you package it and repackage it back in the box, send it back in. So buy extras of your packaging, so you have it here.
You gotta wonder this.
Got it.
How many
So-
times you get a return?
So I would have
With
to
that
send
crusty milk
inventory
on
from
the-
China to my apartment,
Yeah, like 70,000
just for the
pieces per month.
boxes,
Okay?
right?
I mean, I'm not telling you to send 1,000 boxes to your place,
Yeah,
send
yeah,
50.
yeah. Just
Okay,
like, you know,
so-
to cover the returns, yeah, got it.
I'm gonna cover the rest of these points so that we can go into other listings and start playing around. By the way, did you wanna send me any or no?
I don't care, whatever.
Okay. Variations. Does your listing have variations? If it's gonna have variations, there's a lot of cool things that you can do, right? But again, I do think Amazon does a good job of having your variations. You're like, we know this thing has variations, but you wanna communicate it in your main image, right? And we're gonna go into other stuff, but you wanna communicate this in your main image. A lot of ways to do that. This is one way. It's not my favorite. I think it's a little out. I think for my taste, this is a little too noisy. I think we're in agreement on that.
Crowded.
It's crowded, it's a little too noisy. He's testing the heck out of this, and this is obviously what's working, because this element really doesn't move. But see this, I call this a starburst. I don't know if somebody has a different name. This little starburst of color right here, it does several things. He didn't even have to put the 80+ colors, but one is it really calls out. I saw a few of you looking closer, like you didn't even notice the 80+ colors until you noticed the starburst. But it calls out that there's multiple colors, it's a quick visual, and it also shows the actual number, that there's over 80 colors. A lot of the shopping experiences right now on mobile, I don't know if you've noticed the changes as it pertains to variations, but they're showing up scrollable right under that, right under the image. So it's great. That's why loss leader stuff is really working. But a lot of different ways. Other ways that you could call it out, like say you wanted to go for a more minimalist look, I think what works great for this is dots. So you could just do fully colored in dots, and they can run on the side, they can run on the bottom. But those, I feel like, do a good job of at least getting you to say, oh, this thing has different color variations. So,
Quick question, have you ever seen, for instance, a competitor, in this case of Sulai, get Sulai in trouble for adding that coffee or that proper image?
Must get reported every day. I mean, this is the
mecca of,
this is the mecca
yeah.
of Chinese products to sell. Like this is what, like 101. This is like our equivalent.
I'm
Yeah.
this is regards to my.
Yeah?
Yeah. It's like any person has a factory and they do anything remotely to this, what are you selling him? A milk frother. Like this. So yeah, he gets bombarded. And I know him personally, like he gets bombarded all the time. Yeah.
But,
So there's a gray area. So Amazon says you can only have the product that you're selling on the main image. But this is an extreme example of pulling it off. Like most people might have, like say they were selling a bag of coffee, they may only have what you see here down here in the bottom right, which is a few coffee beans and a leaf, and it's overlapping the product, and because it's overlapping and touching the product in the image, the bots really don't pick it up, no issues. It does seem that Amazon, because Amazon will reject some of the images when you put them up, but it does seem that Amazon will either turn a blind eye or not catch it or whatever if it looks nice enough. Like they want people to buy on the platform, right? Yeah. And I do notice that the better your listing does, the more you seem to be able to get away with in the images. They've definitely not confirmed that, so.
And depends on the category as well.
I gotta start looking this way, I haven't looked at you. But, okay, yeah, and it depends on the category as well,
Yeah.
absolutely, because you're not gonna pull something like this off in apparel.
I have a lifestyle image in my
Right.
main image for kitchen, for example.
Right.
In the kitchen.
You can pull that off, right?
Everyone.
Yeah. This is great when you can pull this off and if it's relevant to your product. This is, people don't buy the, people don't buy,
The process,
they don't buy the journey, they buy the destination. Right, that applies to every product. But yeah, they don't buy the journey, they buy the destination. This is kind of like a little call out to the journey. This is what it does. I personally think this is the weakest part of the listing, but this is the journey. This is the destination. Like this is what you can achieve with this. For Tom and his affinity for coffee, he would just jump all over this. So I think again, this is great. So what is the destination for your product? What is that? What is it, that thing that they're going to achieve, that feeling they're going to have, and how can you include that in your main image? Ingredients, I think in this case there's not an actual ingredient. Like if this was a supplement, it's much easier to say that there's an ingredient. If it's what's on the fertilizers or plants or anything like that, there's an ingredient that you can easily add. In this case, coffee beans are not an ingredient of the frother, but again, he's showing if you drink coffee and you see this, you're gonna get some extra saliva just pop up in your mouth. It like triggers your taste buds, so it's hitting the senses, which I like to go through an exercise with the main image just to see like what is that sense that's triggered when looking at this, and how can we amplify that? Okay, jumping over to, we covered, angles. In this case, I think angles are really important, but let me see if I can, I don't want to jump too far ahead and spoil some stuff. We're going to get to one a little later that shows angles, but the one we're going to use as an example is, say, a wallet. Most people just show their wallet, but you could show the wallet standing up on like how it opens so you can see the cards. There was also a pretty cool picture I tried to find that, and I couldn't, but it showed the difference in conversions on if you're holding a wallet and it has a gold, platinum, or like the type of credit card that's slid in, what gets the better click-through rate and you can sell more. So apparently having like an American Express Platinum in there converts or gets much more clicks than say your Discover It, right? So showing the different angles of the product is important. I don't think you need to really show off the different angles here. I think everyone knows what's going on. I think in the early stages of testing, maybe someone wants to see what the back end of this thing grips, like how it sits in the product. But I don't think it's that necessary here, but can your product benefit from seeing different angles? Jumping over to the bullets, this is your, this is where you're putting all your features now. I like to make sure that all of the features that are called out here.
I would never read through that one.
Huh?
I would never read through that.
No, but I like, this is my test. I want to make sure that all of all of the features and benefits that are called out here on the bullets are also visually expressed, preferably in the main image. Right, so it was important enough to put here. I think it needs to be, if at all possible, this is not an easy exercise as you're going to see by the end of this, to see if you can express it visually as well in the main image. I talk a lot about differentiating your product and the importance of it. It doesn't matter if the differentiation on your product, pertaining to Amazon, it does not matter if the differentiation of your product is an internal mechanism of the product. If it is not obvious what that difference is on the main image, you're not going to get the full juice on Amazon. With me?
So that product is sold by 7 sellers?
This one? You see it?
So basically, and probably.
If you go down, it says
probably
7.
some resellers that are not.
I would say some used products or
Probably used, probably Amazon.
Soleil,
Oh.
used,
So they do.
Amazon themselves. It's probably all those returns we talked about. They probably refunded some stuff and they were left with some inventory, so they're reselling it. Yeah, Amazon, Soleil.
Oh, okay.
This is pretty wild. That's almost like an awesome thumbnail to see that. That's ours versus the competitors. Yeah, weak. I'm assuming it's going to be weak and strong. So try to make sure that your features and benefits on your bullets are actually visually displayed on the main image. And a personal favorite of mine is, we just hinted at it, we just showed it earlier, and that's going to be, it already disappeared.
I mean, it's really hard to do that, man. That's a lot of stuff to put in the main image.
Well, it is hard. Well, first of all, most of this, I agree. Let me say that. It is very hard. And by the way, I didn't repeat your question earlier. You wanted to know what are the 7 other sellers that were on the listing for people on the stream to know. And it seems like it's just Amazon reselling the product that they got used. Yeah, it's hard, but I mean, let's go through this. You want to make sure that the hierarchy on your listing is correct. That is easy to achieve, right? If you already have images going back and working, huh?
I'm sorry, it's
No.
Could you go through what the hierarchy is?
Yeah, so it has to do with and again, this was a big eye-opener for me on like
The thumbnail.
right. You want to know who the hero is in the product, in the image. Like, what is the main thing that's going on here? In this case, it is
The product itself.
the product itself. That's going to be the hero that's in this image. What you do see some people do is they'll have the product, and it's kind of small, and there's a lot of white space, and it's taking away from the hero. Or they'll add it, and then they'll add something else in the front of it that's bigger.
But
And
it's all visual, none of it is text?
no, visual. You want to make sure visually that this is main center stage, what's going on, and that everybody else is just supporting
But you
actors.
had said for YouTube.
I learned that terminology on YouTube because I'm not a graphic designer.
Oh, I see. But on
And-
YouTube, you would have
and on you-
information on text.
Sorry?
On YouTube, you would have some kind of wording.
Okay, so the question, but we can even use YouTube as an example, and I think this really helps drive the point home. So there's the thumbnails that convert better on YouTube have less text or no text. So like there's one with I actually watch this guy's channel and I can't think of it, but It's guy underwater in the ocean. His finger is up and it's bleeding. And there's a shark behind him, and no text on the image. The title of the video says, "Can sharks really smell blood from a mile away?" So anything you would add to that image would take away. You could write it, but it would be like, you're hurting the hero that's going on here. And the hero is his finger with the blood, there's a shark, right? That's what's going on. The text would have taken away from the hero. So now on Amazon, it's not a thumbnail for a video, but you want to make sure that your product is the hero, not the packaging, mainly the product. The reason this is really nice, even though the packaging is much larger, is it's also showing front and center on the packaging the product. But if your packaging doesn't do that, then it would be hurting the hero.
Wouldn't it make more sense, I'm sure they tested it, instead of having the product repeated on the packaging, to actually get milk frother really nice and big, that's in that area?
So
Because
have
you already see the
have a
product.
picture of milk all whipped up.
Or something, again, with the understanding that seeing the word milk frother in the main image gets you more clicks, make it bigger, by removing the product from the packaging and just making milk frother big there.
You test it, so you're saying like, instead of basically exaggeration, basically anything here, it just says milk frother.
Right.
Right. I think if let's just say the product wasn't needing to appeal so much to being giftable. I think when you're gifting something, it needs to look aesthetically pleasing, and just big milk frother wouldn't be as aesthetically pleasing as what's going on here. So there's a lot of other considerations to make, in my opinion. I think it's good. I mean, the size premium is much smaller, Milk Boss is much smaller. I think because there's two small words sandwiching it, and those letters are bigger, that it actually calls out greater milk frother with Stan.
It also, I think it depends what the product is. Like if you were selling there, it's pretty clear it's a milk frother, but if it was like a supplement and you're looking for, I don't know, like whatever.
You're on dangerous ground, because supplements.
Rosemary extract.
Okay.
Like you have a bunch of different models. Like you want to see.
If the main keyword is rosemary extract,
Yeah.
you want to have rosemary extract. Yes.
Because you cannot see through the bottle, maybe, or if you see, that can be anything, right?
Right.
You want it to have
It's that tiny bit of confirmation, like human psychology, that's like, yes, this is what I searched. This is more obvious when you're looking for ink for your printer. You want to know if it's compatible. Like that's where it really starts coming into play. You had,
Can you check in the other variations if they're highlighting on the package the actual color?
let's see.
Yeah, they're doing that. Okay.
I think what they're trying to do here is one that looks like a Scotch bottle that you give away at Christmas in a box. And also the $9.99 is a very, very low price point. So I think they're trying to put a lot of lipstick on the pig and kind of taking your eye away from that it's a cheap $9.99 product by making that hero listing look like
I agree.
you're getting a lot for $9.99.
Mhm.
Yeah, 100%.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder what percentage of sales comes from people who are just looking to give away something, you know? Like someone is just like cheap gifts, or gifts for new
Well,
homeowner.
No, they looked at it, and there's a big part of what they do has to do with gifts, why you have the obnoxious red bow.
Yeah.
Yeah. But to Ramon, what you were saying, like, this is hard. It's harder after the fact, for sure, but you just want to make sure the hierarchy, the order of your product is the hero, and it's front and center of what's going on. It does not have to be front and center as far as middle of the image, but it is the thing that just jumps out at you, and you know clearly, instantly what this is about. Badges, this one's a little harder to control because you got to earn those badges, like your Amazon Choice, and giftable, that is dependent on if your product is giftable. In your case, of course, that would be great. I mean, that could be expressed. I don't know if we're going to pull up your product later, so I don't know what I say about it, but you're in the game category, and I mean, that could be wrapping paper, that could be a bow. A lot of ways that could be expressed, that it's giftable. And if that's an important thing, then 100% get that in there. So that's very easy.
On that point too, it almost feels like higher quality, even if you want it for yourself. If it's presented as a gift,
Yeah.
don't you feel like, you know,
Yeah, I see
something
that.
could be a gift.
Yeah. Unless it's like Ramon giving me a gift and then I'm like, oh, he went to rebate key. You know what I mean? Like, he didn't spend much on this. He's re-gifting. Like, Ramon's a professional re-gifter. So the other part of this that you're saying, oh, Ramon, is the risk. So you got your express that there's a warranty, you express the social proof, that this is easy to do, and in this case, it's actually text overlay, just making it look like it's part of the product. And main keyword visible in search, you could express that with the structure of your listing. I mean, all this can be done.
Yeah, the lifetime warranty thing sounds interesting, sure.
Okay, so we covered that, so we're gonna use those. I wrote them down, so we're gonna keep referencing them, we're gonna start going into other products and start looking at, this is kind of like our North Star right now, and we're gonna pull up some other North Stars. Any questions though so far? Yeah.
Is there some influencer videos on there? Is there 20 videos on there?
Yeah, definitely. And every time somebody watches an influencer video and they buy, they get 2 cents. But 70,000, 2 cents really add up. Yeah. Okay, okay, next one. So I put the search for cold brew, right? Cold brew coffee. Coffee is a competitive category, and you're gonna just disregard this ad right now in the creative here. We're gonna go into the searches, but see if you start seeing something that we just covered being expressed in the, and trust me, like this is gonna help. Like being able to see it yourself, you're gonna be able to apply it to your product when you leave here.
Cold brew text.
Which one are you looking at?
All of them.
Okay, but let's talk about it. So like, what do you?
The first big black one.
The first big black one. Okay.
No, it's packaging and keywords.
Okay, I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything.
The big
First
box.
lubricant, now we're talking about.
They got the kids guns.
Okay.
The box that says cold brew real big.
The box. Well, this says cold brew, yeah, but I mean, I doubt Starbucks came up with their packaging strategy with Amazon in mind, and Starbucks has taken up 2 of these spots. But so let's just look at the other ones, the other 3.
The first organic one.
This one.
No, the organic one, that's sponsored.
Oh, you want to start with the organic? Okay. So this first organic one, with what we just went over, and just play with this, and let's say that you agree with those points that we brought up and that those work. What could they have done differently?
The coffee, no?
Right. What do you think? Was it the beans? The beans, the leaf? Is it the drink?
The drink, both.
Right. How would you have expressed it?
The drink with some beans next to it, maybe.
So maybe the drink itself, looking like a nice glass of cold brew with the beans around it.
Right.
I like it. What else?
The
Some
feeling of
foam
cold.
on the top of the,
Some foam?
so, you know, like a cold brew and then a nice hearty cold foam on
Sure,
top.
maybe on Christmas you get the, kind of like the margarita where it has the salt around it. Maybe on Christmas, those sprinkles or whatever that is more of like a red and green tint. On Halloween, maybe it's orange or like a pumpkin, you know what I mean? You can play with the colors on top of that. The rim of the glass, excellent. Keyword wise, what do you think's going on keywords here? Is the main keyword you think expressed on the packaging?
Yeah.
It is.
It is, but yeah.
Cold brew black coffee, I think it does a good job. What about, do you think this is highly giftable?
No.
Right, it's not highly giftable, so no need to express that. Ingredients we covered.
I don't like the cutting of the main image like that at all.
Yeah, they're wasting space with adding the case in that shape. They can
Yeah.
show that it's a 6-pack.
It looks like an afterthought.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think it has anything to do with, it's a big brand when it comes to coffee.
This is a big brand, yeah.
I bought coffee from them, so if I look at this, I'm looking more at, I get 6 of them.
Right.
For this price. I
Yeah,
don't know
they
what
don't try to-
You don't think this does sufficient? You think they needed to also say the
I
6
don't
here?
think they needed to do anything else. I feel like it's the bonus factor. It's because they are already good
Yep.
at their coffee, and I can get 6 of them for $28, you know?
What would you have done with this listing if it was yours in regards to the risk factors that are involved with the listing? Remember, one of the risk factors we talked about is how warranty impacts it.
Mm.
You don't have to go the warranty route, but how would you address that, and also how would you address the social proof here?
I will try to, we're talking about
5 million
that.
happy drinkers?
Say that again?
I mean, 5 million happy
Something like
drinkers,
that,
caffeinated nation, I don't know, like what?
Keeping people awake since blah, blah, blah.
Keeping people awake since 1780 whatever, you know what I mean? Like, what else would you add as
Showing
far?
how it looks like. I don't know if there's an image like showing the texture or maybe the color, something like that, just to reduce the gap between what they're buying and what they will get.
Absolutely. Maybe even it's maybe that could be expressed in the actual glass itself of the coffee, for sure.
I don't like the way the box is tilted. I think it should be tilted sideways instead of straight up,
I agree.
straight flat like
I like
that. It
tilted
doesn't give
straight.
any depth perception to it at all.
Yeah, I think we should all go on Twitter and tag Califia and let them know Wizards of Ecom would like to help them with this main image. But they're definitely complacent and resting. I agree with Tom though that it looks like an afterthought is how I look at it. Like they grabbed something where they needed to show this 6-pack of 32-ounce cold brew, and they just scaled it down and dropped it in the main image.
But again, they probably can get away with it because
They're established. Remember, you're trying to put yourself in the shoes of you've decided that you are, for whatever reason, you're passionate about it, or you've done the research, and you're getting into cold brew, black coffee, medium roast.
Can we click on the other images to see maybe those could have been used as main? Just wanted to see.
Yeah, absolutely. So you see, they do have some of these assets.
Yeah.
Like they do have the beans where they could have used. They do have a cup. They have it. I think this is an excellent example of.
I think that image is terrible. What is that? It looks like black goo. It says sip over straight ice.
Yeah, I don't think it's a great image. I just think I'm saying that they do have.
Yeah,
They've obviously taken shots, and they're just not using them right. Also, I don't know. I have a problem with these shots. It's like you're trying to kind of communicate that you got an aerial shot of what's going on, but you wouldn't have had this coffee laying down like this in an aerial shot. Like
Nobody has that setting going on. Like,
Right.
This is not real.
Right.
And
Look, you see the beans down here? Well, that's a total waste. So yeah.
And they're highlighting a lot the size. I would put value pack instead of 32 ounces. Value pack, you're already knowing that that you get value from this pack.
Carlos, Carmen wants you to click on the videos to see how many influencer reviews
no
are there. But it
influencer
doesn't look like there's anybody there in the top carousel.
Let's see.
This is
5 open slots.
This is a good influencer product.
It's actually not bad. It's selling 1,000 a month.
1,000 a month, $27.
Everybody buy it.
Only a brand video.
It's consumable.
I'm ordering.
I just added to cart.
Yeah, but
Already
there's
bought it.
actually.
Already bought it.
No, I know. They have their.
See who's going to video first.
Oh, so hold on. The influencer videos are showing up.
Where?
In the bottom carousel.
On the bottom, so that means
Oh.
oh, look at this.
We actually buy these.
That's better.
We have these at home. Yeah.
Review it.
One.
No,
Why?
there's not, that's not even
Why went to another
influencer.
That's not an
No, I
influencer.
don't
That's the
like
brand
that.
video.
Yeah, it's a brand video. You have been voted off the island.
Because it's
No,
the
no,
only
don't move,
unsweet
don't move. There, I went to a blue one.
unsweet
Look up
milk
French
that there is in
vanilla with the
Publix
same
to
brand.
buy.
Okay.
So that's I think that's why
I
my
don't wanna
girlfriend's
try it.
buying it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will. Well, I added to cart. How come it didn't?
Alicia. Okay.
Mm.
Carlos,
I'm buying.
you gonna buy 2 of them?
We'll time out. I'll do it after. Or needs
That's
by
it.
2.
You lost the chance, Carlos.
Let me.
Whatever
Oof,
related
14
glasses
bucks.
are best.
As long as my review gets up there before Carmen, that's fine. Just don't think I'm gonna convert as well.
No, you're not.
Okay.
You're quite cool though.
Okay. The bullets. What's going on with the bullets here?
Yeah, there's no 5 bullets. There's just 3.
Right.
Um,
So, 3 bullets on brewed to blend. Well, that's about as useful as, I don't know what. Expertly crafted. Well, I really hope someone pay for it. I think that's implicit, right? Stock up. I tried to buy one. I guess that worked. But not only are these bad, not only is this not really doing anything for the features and benefits of this, but because they're so, I guess, fortune cookie-ish, they're impossible to communicate in the main image, so we could say they are not getting the features and benefits of the bullets and expressing them visually in the main image. You with me?
Yeah.
All right, let's jump into some. Any other feedback on this one? We're gonna jump to the next one?
Sure.
All right. Organic protein. I wanted to pull in something that supposedly is a lot more complicated, has a lot more competition. Not supposedly, it does, trust me. Oh, you know what, let me go back, we didn't do as much, there was more I wanted to do on that one, you see? What was this? We just clicked on the first one, that's all we did. But that was this one, which is the #1 seller. Now that we're into these organic ones, do you see anybody that looks like they're playing the game right?
Yeah.
The one on the right.
Number 3 and 4, absolutely.
Yeah, it's better though.
Ironically, everyone's heard of Califia and everyone's heard of Starbucks. Go figure, the ones that are playing right are the ones that can't afford to have a listing that look like the one we just looked at.
Yeah.
But anything that you see before I'm clicking into these, we're talking about 3 and 4 now over here, but ignore the extensions, that anything that you see on them that you're like, that you can call out as a point that we just talked about.
Or has a 5-second cold brew, a really easy to read original copy.
Yes.
The cold brew, the bean. That looks really nice.
Two beans, I think, that doesn't really do anything for me. I'm like, you got skimpy on the beans, like, add a little pile of beans with a little leaf to it, I mean, something else, right? Is anybody else with me on that? I think 2 single beans, you never see that, right? Right? Unless you like move your stove to clean behind it and you realize, right, that's the only time you see 2 beans. But, so I think those are good call outs. What about this one? Anyone want to weigh in on busy cold brew?
I feel it feels simpler for some. I mean, I think I would click on that one first. It is attractive.
Which one?
Yeah.
You can't read a
The
little
busy?
text underneath.
I don't think
busy.
you need to put busy twice.
They're highlighting too much the brand, and you know no one knows.
Absolutely.
the
So-
brand.
What are the keywords? You can't see them.
For
Can
both
see
of them.
Yeah.
So I think all those are valid. I think starting with busy first, busy cold brew, why are you putting it there twice? I mean, it's even angled the same, right? I'm all for growing your brand. Maybe they feel like they've reached that point where they're getting a lot of their sales because people are, and that does happen with coffee. Like, I don't just drink a different brand of coffee all the time. So,
Just stick to your brand. Yeah.
right, but I think that was more than accomplished right here.
Yeah.
I would have put something, I wouldn't have put anything over the glass. I mean, you have the coffee there, you're trying to show them the destination. You're trying to trigger those taste buds going on. I think this is bad placement. Over here, I'm sorry, back over here, it says, I'm gonna click into this so we can see it larger, but it says organic, smooth, and sweet, coarse ground. I think, I can see the word cold brew being their main keyword, but I think since this looks like it's part of the title, they could have done a better call out of their main keyword on the bag, or maybe even gone for a secondary keyword. In this case, which they didn't do. This one, I don't feel like outside of cold brew, I don't think they've done a good job of calling out any of their important keywords on the product. And I think the blue here is horrible. One thing, make it look like it's there. Don't put an obviously fake blue ribbon, and again, they're covering up the actual coffee. They're covering up the journey of the product. But clicking into some of these,
In cold brew, you drink it cold, right?
yeah.
No one's putting, like, I don't have the feeling that it's cold. Well, maybe this one, yes, but
This one, the other one, no.
in general, it's,
Yeah.
I don't know.
It seems like what they're really trying to call in here is how quickly this cold, like ready to drink, instant cold brew. Sounds bad. What would you add? I think we covered this a little bit. So we would add ingredients, like show some of the coffee here on this main image. You think this is giftable? No. So no need to deal with that.
Could
They
you
don't-
turn the organic part into a badge of sorts?
I think you could be good. I think you could do that. I would just be careful because a lot of those certifications like organic, cruelty-free, all those, you really need to have them. Otherwise, people will come after you for falsely claiming that you have it. So you have it, most definitely.
Looks like they do, on the package in the bottom right, USDA organic. So they probably did certification.
Yeah. I think if they're trying to show quick to drink, I think the clock does a really good job. What about social proof? Again, I think they're missing out there. They don't. I don't think a warranty hits the same way with a consumable. So I don't think warranty on coffee is that powerful. But They could have totally put here the amount of happy drinkers, keeping America caffeinated for 1785, you know, I mean, whatever, they could have done something like that. Going into the bullets, no?
No bullets.
No bullets.
There we go. I think someone got tired and it was late at night, and they were like, we need to submit. We need to take this live so we can send our FBA shipment in tomorrow, and somebody fell asleep here. And they were just like, copy what we have on Shopify. But this is pretty bad. Either way, if we,
Hey, at least I read it.
yeah, but
Sure.
yeah, but, and that's a good point. What I like to look at though is, I mean, at least they have the 5, but they're not, are they visually communicating this in the main image? So, coarse ground optimized for cold brew. If that's the case, they could have showed coarse grounds. They could have showed the different types of grinds that there are. They could have done that. They did micro sifted and crafted for cold brew. I don't know how important that's going to be here, but how they, if it was that important, how are they going to communicate micro sifted? Brew your cold brew your way. It sounds like they had 4 bullets and they're like, we have to add something. Of course I'm going to brew it my way. Certified USD organic and kosher. It looks like they did that, but I don't see the kosher. Which I should have done do. 100% organic Arabica coffee from Central and South America. They could have communicated that on the main image and they didn't. And I guess medium roast, they probably, I hope they did.
No.
They didn't even communicate the medium roast on their packaging, which is, they left a lot on the table. And the other one, very similar. What was that? Did I miss it? Here we go.
So let's sell it, so.
Huh?
Let's sell it.
Yeah.
Why is it number 3 if it's bestseller?
Gotta love Amazon, man. Javi coffee concentrate, cold or hot? I don't know. I really don't like this, especially the 2 beans. They lost my trust.
The kin's not gonna be very strong. Only 2 beans.
2 beans, not gonna be too strong. What we got going on? Okay. So they use ChatGPT. Premium Arabica coffee, not communicated. Quality ingredients. I have such a problem with that. Like, stick that somewhere else. And quality ingredients, I'm like, I think, isn't that implied?
Yeah, it should be implied.
Should be implied.
I guess in Amazon, you don't.
Yeah, customizable taste. Are you giving me permission to add my creamer that I want? I mean, I don't understand why you need to say that. Insane value. An amazing customer service. Yeah, this person got really lazy. These are really bad.
I don't know why they have 5-second cold brew on the glass.
They don't?
No, I don't know why they have it there.
Oh, they're trying to put the
I don't
cold
think that-
brew word in there.
Yeah,
They're
I
trying
think it's a
to-
waste. I think it's a waste. How, I mean, everything about it, even that it's coming. If you wanted to put that, I would put it somewhere else. I don't know how they're pulling this off actually, because this doesn't even look nice. All right.
It works.
Yeah.
The word cold brew is there, so they're probably getting a higher click through it.
Yes, we're going to go to, search term here was organic protein. We're going to go through 60,000 in the past month at $30. Somebody want to calculate that real quick so I don't have to do public math?
That's a lot. That's a lot. The number is a lot.
1.8 million a month, is
And it's SNAP EBT eligible. Okay, so first listing, I feel like, what do you see going on here? There's a lot going on.
Vanilla?
I'm gonna open this one up. Huh?
The vanilla?
Yep.
Oh, we can.
So you see the vanilla, so they got the ingredient involved. I think that's good.
Oh, I get this.
What do you think is something that's super important when somebody's looking for this?
The amount of grams.
Amount of grams of protein, absolutely.
Organic, how much sugar,
Yep.
how much protein.
So they're visually communicating, they're doing a lot here.
Yep.
Protein supplements and anything that's packaged this way has a lot of flexibility because it's so easy to change what's on the packaging. plant-based protein, I suspect that that's gonna be one of their biggest search terms, so they're calling out the keyword really good.
I get the feeling that those blue and green and pink circles are not that big on the package.
I doubt it, yeah.
They're not, I bought this, they're not.
It's not
Yeah,
that
they're
big.
not. Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
only the image.
But they're gonna be able to play with this and see what gets better
Right.
clicks, and
I w-
apparently this
I would
is
include the actual powder, but how it looks
yes.
like, the color, like
a scoop.
when I, exactly, a scoop or something, when I buy something, like a product, this is not the product, this is the packaging, so where is the product?
Absolutely. I wanna see a scoop of that powder. And I would tint it, like if it's a banana flavored one, I'd give it like a tight, like a tinge of yellow, you know? What's vanilla? Banana peel, something. What else we got going on with this one? What about, obviously, is this giftable? No. Warranty. I think warranty on supplements is not needed.
No warranty there.
But they could have put something here on this packaging, especially since they're playing so loose with it, that said something about, how many people
Millions
they've
of
helped.
people,
Yes.
millions of people who lost it.
Now, why does
Get
the
the
USDA
property.
all the way to the right?
Say again?
USDA tag is B.
Yeah,
Yeah,
kind of hard to see.
yeah. I think they could have done it, that's a good call out. I think they could have put that a little more front and center. And in a way, that is eliminating some risk. That is kind of like, almost like a warranty, like, hey, the USDA has had something to do with their product, and they said people don't die when they take it.
Could you say satisfaction guaranteed rather than warranty?
We can't make guaranteed claims like that. And anytime you get into supplements too, you gotta, like, weight loss guarantee, you're gonna get shot down.
Just take out guarantee, like 100% satisfaction.
Good. They're really tight with anything that's 100%
Yeah.
kill
Play with
claim
fire.
guarantee. Those kind of claims are really difficult. I find it very difficult, since this is not a color variation, to express multiple variations in a single listing when it's a flavor. So it's good that they didn't attempt to do that, because it'd be very confusing if you saw, you know, but I like how they did this. I guess the pumpkin's nice, but I've never seen a pumpkin that small, but I get it. They've done a good job at bringing the ingredients in. I would totally buy that one. Little protein before the gym, I feel like I'm cheating. All right, what about, so this one hit almost everything, except the powder, a little more front and center with the USDA, and, yeah, okay.
So on that, just because I take those supplements, people that take supplements usually watch the calories. So it says that in the nutrition summary, but I think I would put that on the bottle, because I count calories. So if you say 100 calories per scoop, so people that are buying 21 grams of
I
protein
love that.
for 100 calories, that would be a high seller.
I like that.
Versus somebody that has 200 calories and you're like, oh, I'm gonna take 2 scoops of this, no, let me take this one.
I love that. Every now and then I count calories. So when I am though, I look for that stuff.
What are your thoughts on the white on white? I always struggle with that, right? White with a white bottle on there, as opposed to if you go to the orange one, it's white with orange. I mean, it just like, I don't know, I struggle with, because you get lost in a sea with everybody else who's doing white, so I wanna kinda go maybe the color with a white writing instead of, I mean.
I don't think white packaging like this is the best type of packaging for Amazon.
Mhm.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, you wanna go darker,
Like the orange.
yeah.
Oh, but the organic protein really stands out though, the word organic protein.
Sure, they obviously got this right, they're doing this right, but again, this is a big brand, by the way. But if you decided you wanted to get into this space, and you guys hear how badly I warn people to not do supplements, or get into selling supplements because of how hard it is. If I was deciding, like, I'm gonna go against what I said and I'm gonna get in it, I would probably pick a completely black or blue container.
Green with white.
Yeah.
The green one, right?
Yeah, so let's see who else, let's see if there's any people that are, well, here's a blue. Not in love with that, but
Not at all.
not in love Look at this. Who thinks that that's written on the lid? 22 grams, 5, and then BCAAA. Whatever that is. Oh, look at that. That's what I would do. That works.
I like the servings on the lid too, that's good.
40 servings, call out on the protein. You know, I'm not seeing anybody mention the calories on this, but I think that would be a huge one.
Maybe because they're hiding it.
They're hiding it.
Sugar's also a big one too.
Yeah. Look how they have all of these as standalone listings. So they're just gobbling up.
60K, 40K, 30K,
Are
2K.
there, the only difference is the size?
No, the flavor.
It's crazy, they have a lot of real estate.
Yeah, which I don't advise. This is also one of those benefits once you get really, really big.
Destroyed, for sure.
For a lot of people, you break out your variations, and one of your variations has 2 reviews, and then goes the way of the Titanic. Look at that. That catches my attention.
What does that bird have to do with anything?
I don't know, but you stop to figure it out. And
Buy it, buy it, buy it.
well, hold on, let me see if it's eligible for a influencer review. Oh, it is.
There you go.
That's what I might do, since I'm not like super like protein supplement loyal. I might just like swap them out every month, and every month just get the one that. It's nuts. All right, what do we got next? This is what I was talking about earlier. We don't have to go into this particular listing, but this is angles. So you have a product that could benefit from the different angles of it. I recommend doing it.
I'm always afraid of doing that because then I wonder if the customer is like, I didn't get 2 wallets.
It's possible. I don't think that's gonna be the majority of people, because as long as you have it called out everywhere else on the listing and you don't show that it's a multiple, you're gonna be fine, but I'm sure there's gonna be.
A Karen.
Yeah, I always like to say that the thing where I had the humidor that I sold, and I got the scathing review because the person was buying my cigar humidors to use as coffins for his parrots that died.
Oh, God.
And it didn't fit his dead parrot. So I was like, that for me was like a big turning point, that I was like, if I see a listing that has thousands of reviews and they're all 5 stars, I'm not buying from you, because you're like gaming something.
Yeah.
There's gotta be your parrot guy out there.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, I shipped this thing to the UK, and it cost me an arm, leg, and a kidney, and I really couldn't afford it back then either. And he's literally writing me this, and I'm like, are you freaking serious? Like a cigar humidor? You're talking about your dead parrot?
I used to sell hairpins, and somebody complained because it didn't look great on their horse.
On their horse?
Horse. They were too small for the horse. I'm like, okay.
I guess the last one I'll throw out is I sold an adult novelty product that guaranteed 6 hours of motor life. And apparently somebody tested it that it was only 4.5 hours. So I'm talking to someone, and I was like, I wanted to, 4.5 hours. 4.5 hours, right? Like, whatever. Yeah, so yeah, there's just gonna be somebody out there, and I'm sure there's gonna be somebody out there who does the, I didn't get 2 wallets.
I would have spun that conversation. 4 hours.
I went a lot deeper. I just didn't think it was appropriate here. No, I really,
We already went into lubricants and the big black boxes.
yeah, we're not gonna.
It's not.
Okay. Let me see if this is, anybody know what this is? By the way, if you've seen this online,
Yeah.
do not, you saw it already?
Yeah, but I don't know where, but I saw this.
If you
But,
know,
yesterday.
if you saw this thing that was put out there as a contest, don't say it.
Okay.
But this is a listing, like we're gonna go to it. Does anyone know what this is?
How
By
about
looking
guess?
at it? Huh?
How about guess?
Throw some guesses out there, everybody can throw it
Stress
out.
relief?
Stress relief.
For the
Pet
teeth?
toy?
What did you say?
A pet.
Oh!
I would say something, Carlos. Every time. Every time I say something, you
No,
go there.
no, that, for sure. Pet toy,
Salt and
stress
pepper.
reliever,
Salt and pepper.
salt and pepper shaker,
Paperweight?
paperweight. Keep throwing it out there.
Piggy bank over here.
Piggy bank. I like this. You're not gonna collect very much. But I like how you're thinking.
This is you for that.
Anybody else wanna weigh in?
Eraser, yeah.
Eraser.
Eraser, potentially.
That was actually one of my guesses.
Really? You guys have this type of eraser here in the States?
Oh, it gets a lot worse than that. We get a lot of erasers. Okay. This is the main image of an Amazon listing, right?
What is it?
And it has no secondary images, by the way. okay? I pulled it up like this. I hope I have it as one of the links too, but they're refrigerator magnets.
You're kidding.
Oh, wow.
It's a refrigerator magnet, or magnets. So, that person thought they knew what it was. So they got this image done of their product, and they put it on their main image. It had no bullets. The title calls it out, which is why you grab it and put it here, otherwise you see it. But I thought it was this was put together by somebody at PickFu as like a contest on LinkedIn. And he set it up in a really cool way, and he was like, no reverse image searches. Even if you try to reverse image search this, for some reason it doesn't pull up anything. But this is an excellent example of why you need to do a lot more with your main images. So now that you know it's a kitchen magnet, what would you do differently?
Well,
Besides not order this product, which I,
put them in a background that looks like a refrigerator.
okay. So your whole main image looks like a refrigerator?
I mean, something like, you know, like metals.
Right.
background, something.
What else? Anybody else wanna?
Or you show the side where there's a magnet.
That shows the magnet, right?
It's horrible.
It's horrible. Oh, here we go, I did find it. This is it. This is the main image. Wow. Actually, it's moved. It's worse. Since I last looked at it. It's worse.
No white.
Are they alive? Is this dead porpoises? Is that Masha in the back, or is that,
The middle one's almost like a pencil sharpener.
I don't know. Looked like Masha the bear got smacked or something. I don't even know if it's a porpoise on the top, but you see what I'm saying? Like even with this main image, you don't know what they are. Don't know what they are. Now we get into what?
And the seller is named Romantic Love.
No, is it? His name is Romantic Love. Yeah, it is. God man. Okay, good call out there. So this is what we talked about earlier. I really don't. I mean, I think at this stage, you writing magnet on the back, and it's just in the middle of this image, is not really good. And also, what are they doing? Right? You could have set this up a different way. You didn't even need to show the other. You could have showed one and that it has a magnet. Maybe did a call out about the strength of the magnet. At this point, you could have put it on a refrigerator. Go figure. And then here they are again. In case you didn't know from the first image, at least we got some dimensions. But it looks like they ran out of space and they didn't center this right, so they tilted it. But this is so you can see how big it is, and that it actually can fit on your refrigerator.
There's no one image of
And
that
they're centimeters
refrigerator
because
There is no refrigerator.
I like the price on it. That's great.
You like the price, right? And you get all this for
$25.99.
$25.99.
Man, that's good.
The brand is Bobo. I almost feel like this is a prank, because in Spanish, Bobo is like, Bobo is like,
Fool.
Bobo.
Yeah.
You dumb,
Dumb.
right? Yeah.
I think the main reason it didn't enter my mind that it could possibly be a magnet.
Oh, but you didn't say it, so you can't claim the fame right now.
Even more so, it's the way that it's angled and put. Any magnet that you see on any kind of refrigerator, it'd be facing you so you could see it every time you open it. That'd be laying down on its side, and you'd just see some random little shape and not even know what it is. Like someone actually has to physically take it out and like, oh, it's a pretty little seal. But you see that on the side of a magnet, that makes sense. That makes a whole lot more sense.
Yeah. It doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense to me. I look at that and I don't know refrigerator magnets. That doesn't scream refrigerator magnets to me.
That does make sense.
No,
I'm
that's
scared, but here we go.
gravitated animal.
Oh.
Oh, here we go, the Chinese.
That-
I like these,
That, yeah.
but this still doesn't say refrigerator magnets to me. For some reason, I think eraser when I see this,
Yes.
right? I think this is an eraser. You guys are having fun with this. You like it?
It's hilarious.
Yeah, $25.99. Yeah.
Does it have any review influencer?
Well, no.
You'll be the first.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
not reviewing.
probably the first sale, also the first sale for this person ever. But this is 8 pieces. I mean, just the structure of this, and I want to get a little bit into. We're spending so much time in the main because I think it has so much impact on the actual listing. But this is like an intensive on what not to do with your title. 8 pieces, cute, 3D, fun. I mean, everything before this hasn't even done anything yet. I mean, can you imagine this, what comes up if this person runs like an auto campaign or something like that? Like, you might come up for a 3D printer for cute Disney toys. I mean, just nothing's going on here. Animal refrigerator magnets. I mean, this title should be something like animal refrigerator magnets. I don't know what the tail hook is. I don't even know that's important. With tail hook?
What is a tail hook?
I don't know, but it has to, even seeing the title, we don't know. I don't know what this. I don't know if it's supposed to hold something. A fridge, calendar, key holder for kids. So your kids' keys can go on this. My kids don't have keys.
How do they go?
Right. My kids don't have keys. You know what I mean? Nor can they reach up to the refrigerator. So, okay. So this is just an extreme example of don't assume anything with your listing, right? We can pull yours up in a second too if you want. Yeah. Or no pressure, you don't have to.
Listen, I can pull them all up. I don't really.
So I pulled this one up. I thought it gives it away a little better, but you obviously know what this is. You can see the title. But if you just saw the main image and we hadn't just gone through that, just looking at this, do you think this is a sticker?
Yeah.
Stickers, right? I think stickers because of it, I don't know, the outline of them. But this is fridge magnets. 3 people have bought from this person.
And the images, one after the other, they repeat.
Yep.
The same thing.
Yep, absolutely horrible. So we want to play around with this for a second. What would you do differently if you decided you were going to, you just went total masochist and you decided you were going to sell some kitchen magnets? What would you do on this listing?
Well, some of them, you gotta see the magnet, the actual magnet, you know. So like all these pictures in front. So one of them or 2 of them, or I don't know, some of them like seeing the actual magnet. You don't see any magnets here.
I agree.
I like the depth one at least. The third one shows, okay, so this is not a sticker.
Is that what you got out of that?
I mean, it shows depth.
If it's a magnet, I don't know what it needs this hook for. I would put this, obviously wouldn't do this, but if I was doing this, it would be really nice packaging. I think this is something that's highly giftable, right? I would really show the gifting of it. I don't want to create a new product out of this, but the types of animals that I see here seem to be like, almost like your primary colors of crayons that you would give kids. So this seems like your primary animals that you want your kid to know. So I don't know if that's what they're going for, and you'd want to show these magnets on the fridge so your animals can call them out. If so, you might actually want to write what they are, but I think that's getting more into like product design. But I would have the packaging say, you know, main keyword, which would be animal refrigerator magnets, with animal small, refrigerator magnet large, because that's what it is. Packaging would show a refrigerator. Image would show something about a refrigerator. The giftability, in this case, might be a bow, because this is like a comical type product, but it would definitely have something gift related showing that this is a highly giftable product. And at Christmas, that might swap out for a stocking, right? Risk, I would put something in there about the magnets that are on these things not being chokeable. I would say decorating fridges around the world, like in over 50,000 homes, something like that. This is something you definitely could put a warranty on. I would do lifetime warranty on these freaking magnets. I mean, nobody's gonna go through all this and go look for their warranty information for a $7.99 product. Or if there is, it's only one. End result here, so you're not buying the journey, you're buying the destination. It's the fridge, nicely organized, unlike our actual fridges, or at least in my house. In use, we would show it. Ingredients, there's no ingredient that you could show here, but I feel like giving a visual of the magnet works. Maybe the strength of the magnet. I feel like somebody that has these things, like I hate having something on, and if you open the fridge hard or the door hard, the thing just falls off. So maybe say something to the strength of the magnet. You get the idea.
Can you say all that in that main image?
Absolutely. You can't say it if you just have the magnets floating, well, actually you can. But if you have the packaging on there, right, it just gives you all kind of testing real estate that you could do. We just saw somebody put a blue ribbon on a glass of cold brew. So like, if you went that extreme, I guess you could do that here as well. All right, what else do we got? Yep.
I started like 2 months ago, my store.
Yep.
It's a hybrid. Can you pull up to see if you can give me some advices?
Absolutely. What am I looking for?
It's called Beauty Nation USA. Those.
Which one?
Those are my,
All these?
no, the first one, the second, and the third, the fourth.
This
You can see
one,
the
this
store.
one, these 2 through 4?
Yeah.
1, 3, and 4.
1, 2,
No, 1, 2, and 4.
1, 2, and 4, so not with the model,
No.
right? Well, okay, this will be good. A lot of stuff. I mean, thank you for showing this.
Uh-huh.
You don't wanna hear like how great this is, like you
No,
wanna,
no,
okay, yeah. This listing, to be clear, is a PL wholesale hybrid listing.
Yeah,
So which part of this is the,
product,
which is your pillar product? So you need a pillar product
yeah.
to have a hybrid listing, and that's the one that has all the traffic. So on the frother, you have the Energizer batteries. The Energizer batteries has a ton of search to it, so that's your pillar that's there. Arguably, in that case, it could be both. So what's the pillar here?
The treatment for the hair.
Okay. Arguably, I have bad eyes, but can anyone even read what that is?
Nope.
Right. What is the main search term for your pillar product?
Alpha bar.
So people that, let me just,
What's that?
So people know and type alpha bar.
let's
right?
do this.
Yeah.
I wanna take this one piece at a time.
¿Es una marca o es el...?
Es una marca de cabello.
This is it?
Yeah.
Responsive. All those responsive. Go back to it now.
That's all sold by Amazon.
Okay. Okay.
And they have the product that I sell.
Okay, so this, I'm not gonna go into the title, because I don't wanna, with the time, I don't wanna pull open a tool and do a bunch of keyword research, but this main image is really bad. So, I feel like, first of all, the first thing I thought of, don't beat me up here, I thought this was like a silicone implant. Like, I didn't know what this was. I don't know if any, I'm sorry, I didn't know, but I'm like,
It was a fake diamond.
I also, a fake diamond, a shower cap, I didn't even know that. I don't know, is it bad?
Yeah, shower.
I thought
I don't know. Sorry, it's your first day. Carmen told me to say it, no. I think the image is really bad. I think I'm assuming this cap is like your hybrid.
Yeah.
In that situation, you don't need to show off that product that much. If it's just a one-off that you're getting from AliExpress, I'm assuming these things come packaged or whatever. It might just need to be a little square packaging afterthought on the side. This image, the quality of the image looks bad. Where did you get it?
I got it from someone that took the picture.
I would be a little, I mean, this, it just looks, it's bad quality image.
Okay.
I mean, the box doesn't look clean. I mean, that looks like dirt or lint.
That little dots, right?
Yeah, that's an easy cleanup job
Okay.
that's going on here. The,
Is the box
not necessary. This is your hero right here.
Yeah.
This should be front and center. So is this a serum? It's an emergency oil, so. I'm gonna put,
No, it's for the hair.
Hair serum.
hair serum, so. Well, it doesn't matter if it's face serum or hair serum, but what I'm looking for is somebody who's selling a serum that's crushing it with their main image. So you see, I don't know if this is a serum, but you see, sponsored, but thank you, Ramon. But you see how this is very front and center, also not in love with that. But I would look for something that shows like
What is it made of?
I'm gonna do face serum. It just says emergency SOS oil.
Well,
Yeah.
Oh,
so like the oil drops, a pearl of an oil, I don't know.
okay, yeah. I like, again, we're just doing this rapidly, but I think this is the direction you wanna look. Right, and I think this is where Tom was coming from as well, kinda like, what is it made out of? So assuming it was made out of orange, we're bringing in some orange, but going back to yours, the box is not necessary. You do need to show the brand name, which if this was done better, it does mention, because some, you want people to know that are looking for that actual brand, that is in fact what this product is. And if you did that, I think you would have a much, I mean, that alone would give you a much, much cleaner listing. Perhaps instead of this dropper, you'd situate it in a way that showed that extra, the cap that yours came with.
How much is your cap?
How much?
How much is it?
The cap?
Yeah.
Like 20 cents.
Yeah, I mean, maybe do like a fanned out packs and give more than one pack, and then be able to, in that fan, maybe put 4-pack, the word 4-pack inside of that. Just a thought.
Six strengthening 6 vials bundle. Is this a vial? Like, does it have 6 of those? Or
Yeah, 6 of those.
there's 6 of these inside?
Yeah.
Oh, show 6.
I would show 6. I would show
Yeah.
6, really nicely done, and it's gonna give you more space to play with, to bring your fanned out packs, or however you express them, the ingredient, what is it, what's in here?
And nothing on the picture says there's 6 there.
Yeah. So you need to express how much is inside. Get rid of the box.
Okay.
Try to head in the direction of this, but let me just find a 6-pack, see if I can find a 6-pack. 6,
Like almost like a bowling pin setup of 6-packs.
yep. Ooh, I like that color.
When it comes to beauty, does people care if they're made on the US or not?
Not
I think
maybe
with beauty,
that.
if you're buying a face serum, your friend is using the serum, or the person you follow is maybe using the serum.
I'm seeing
I've
that
never used
change.
the
I'm
serum.
seeing
I'm
that change with
naturally
that Korean snail cream.
Oh.
Oh my gosh, that thing's out of control.
Yeah.
Korean snail cream.
Because they have the best skin. And
I guess,
stuff.
yeah. So
Yeah, I mean, because I saw that it says that in the cap, made in the USA, but very, very, very small. Have you noticed or not?
I did when I zoomed in.
But don't be afraid to change the words that appear on the actual vial. It doesn't matter, as long as they know that it's that brand. And if you change something so that it's actually easier to read the keywords, they won't care, even if it's not your product. They won't care, they know they'll receive the product, the bottle
like I
from that
lost
brand.
yeah, even if it was like a bowling
Oh,
pin
you're right.
setup, and then you had the name, what's the brand called, whatever that thing is, that
Alpha Parf.
I'll put it across all 6 of them at the bottom in bigger bold print, that it just runs together with them, and then they'll pick up on it,
Okay.
right?
I would 100% do that. I could say 100% when I see it, but a breakdown and why I need to work with a creative, and I'm not opening Photoshop, I'm just communicating with someone who does. But Celine, who's local, would probably do a bang. You reached out to her?
No, I need the.
Yeah, I think
contact
Celine, who's
information.
local, could take a money shot of this.
I'm looking for a creative, so Celine's is good.
Well, it depends. Photos, 3D renders.
3D maybe renders.
Yeah, I wouldn't use Celine for 3D.
Just for photos, okay.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, I don't recommend Celine. She's good with creative, but there's a lot of other people that I would recommend for creative over Celine. I recommend Celine for product photography. And I think there's a lot of times when you work with a product photographer, you just wanna have this one-stop shop or a buffet of services that they offer. So you work with your product photographer and you're like, you do infographics, fantastic. You do my infographics, you do my creative. I don't recommend Celine for infographics or creative. She's good, but she's not great.
She's
But
good
pro-
for lifestyle.
I think she's good, but if I needed to find someone that crushed it on infographics, crushed it on creative, there's specialists out there in each of those areas. Celine's not one of them. Her product photography is really good though.
Dobby ads did
Just my
pretty
2
good.
cents.
Dobby did pretty good.
Dobby did great and stupid affordable, I think. I couldn't.
Dobby ads?
Dobby ads, yeah.
out of India, Pakistan, India.
What's their rate?
Huh?
What's their rate?
What is what?
What's their rate?
How
Right,
much?
that'll be-
Depends on what you want, but a couple $100, you know, with some interaction between them. The only disadvantage with working with some of those is that you're dealing with a lot of emails back and forth. You're not really getting on a phone with anybody or a Zoom call. That's the only disadvantage. Celine is here in your face and she'll, you know, be very accessible. So I think you have that little bit of a trade-off, but.
Yeah, how Celine doesn't charge like 3 or 4 times her rate for product photography, I don't know, like she could, yeah. That's, I recommend Celine for product photography. The other stuff, depending on your budget, she might be perfect. Otherwise, Daviat is fantastic.
Because the way do, I need a lot of like a plain, like super plain photo for TikTok shop. And if I get one product, I pay for $400-$500, that's impossible.
Or just
I have
reach
a
out to me,
million
I'll give you
products I
SG's
wanna go on
contact.
TikTok.
So you're saying, just in case it didn't get picked up on the stream,
on
you just need
like,
somebody
how
to
can I
create
contact you?
a
Very
plain
good.
All the
product
Telegram groups.
for
just look
TikTok
up
shop.
Tom?
And you're saying if you pay like
I'm not in the
$400, it's not gonna
Telegram
make
group,
sense.
man. Oh,
When I hear that, I'm like, don't do that product.
This is my first day.
Avoid that product. If the
Avoid
product
all
is
of
not
it.
worth
Okay,
putting,
drink, you cut a lot.
I'm gonna go out there and say something stupid. If the product is not worth putting $1,500, you don't have to, but if it's not worth putting $1,500 into that shot, avoid the product. Like, just run from it. 'Cause
Appreciate it.
It's gonna give you so many headaches. If you're not willing to put $400, what you're saying is that this thing's not gonna make, is this product gonna make you $2,500?
No, but you're going more for like a volume type of model, right?
Yeah.
I
It's not like private label, it's for like a consumer.
To me, just personally, that's irrelevant. You wanna sell it online, and what is going to sell it is your main image. And you're telling me that putting $300 to $400 does not make sense, it doesn't make sense, because you just need this plain whatever, I would, my just immediately is avoid the product. But,
Big winners.
yeah, and so in this case, I'm hoping this helps. This is nice, obviously it's an established brand, so they put something into it, people wanna see it, it'll be super front and center. I think the description, whoever said the bowling pin angle, you know what that is? The bowling pin angle is fantastic. It's gonna give you a lot of room to play too by adding an ingredient. I don't know if there is an ingredient here that, that they have, but the example we had was orange, and if it has it, fantastic. I don't know what these pearls are, but I would do it. If you're gonna open this cap up like this, I would do it in the secondary images. Thank you. It could be a little fan pack of wipes like you see Dude Wipes do or something like that, but a little extra. Going with what we talked about here, it would work. The hierarchy would make sense. The hero in this is not your caps.
Okay.
It's the serums, or I'm calling them a serum, we're gonna go with that. So is your bowling pin setup of serums? Your next one, is this something that is highly giftable? Probably not.
No.
So you don't need to think about that. Your risk factor that's going on here. If it's your image and for beauty, I would not put making hair amazing for the last one. I probably wouldn't do anything like that. Social proof, what do they have?
Does it say at all what it's made out of?
No, I'm gonna look over here. That's interesting. I don't see, I see what's not in it. Keratin shampoo.
A la carte.
It'd be nice to express an ingredient, but again, your reliance here on a wholesale PL hybrid listing is that brand and the search terms that come from that. So you may not need, they're not doing it, you may not need to do it. You're not trying to really compete with them. You're just trying to piggyback and close some of those searches that are happening anyhow. And the fact that you have those extra caps, I think that's more than enough. I think if you're going to do it, invest in a killer main image.
Okay.
And then that will solve almost all your problems. Do you happen to know, well, they do run ads, that answers my question. Okay.
The main thing in that is castor oil, so you want a drop of shiny oil, pearl of oil, I don't know. Not a Exxon Valdez barrel of oil, but oil.
Okay, we have 5 more minutes. I don't know, anybody else want to pull one up? If not, I'll talk a second about this one. I cannot, we've been creating more and more of these apps on product images, and the results have just been, I haven't run into one where it didn't work too good. Some people don't place these well. In this case, let's talk about hierarchy for a second. This is a pretty good example of, this would not always apply to your product, but these balloon kits, everyone kind of has them. The box is big enough in the back, but I feel like the thing that's in the front here that's getting everyone's attention is this, is the web app. I feel like it's a creative way of taking a product that everyone else is selling for $9, and you need this to be able to sell it for $19.95. So I think it was I've noticed them testing this on and off, but they seem to keep the web app thing here more often than not. But looking at this listing, I think they made the right call. I think if the web app was smaller and kind of up out of the way, it would just be lost in all the other junk that's going on with the listing. But just applying, I mean, think about the profits here. So I build this app out for $1,500. This thing pays, you're making $10 more in profit per sale. And there's 200 sales per month, over 200. So at 200 sales, the thing pays for itself in 3 weeks, right? So, or you build it yourself, whatever, and then you pay the hosting on the app. But it still pays for itself almost immediately. Like, I think you should get one of these on your product detail page if you have a product. But if you're sticking it as like an afterthought in this tiny little thing, it's not going to have the same impact you would on the listing. But it should allow you to get more clicks and sell the product for a higher amount.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I haven't thought about the web app idea.
Oh yeah, it's horror, you should do it. And then you get to be on a few hours of phone calls with Andres. You can't beat anything. You can't beat that. And I don't know which one of you is tighter with like negotiating. I'm just one watch. Okay. You were gonna give me a product, and we'll do this last one before we wrap up.
If you don't mind,
Sure.
our product is Johnny.
Journey.
Johnny. You know, wine.
Spell it for me.
Y O N E.
Oh, E. Okay. Steam.
No, let me see. Seed.
Seed.
Seed. No, seed like the.
Seed.
Like seed. Yeah, seed for key for woman.
For
Woman. Yeah, it's.
This?
Yeah.
okay.
The first one.
This?
Yes.
This is not anything. What the? This is yours?
Yes.
Okay.
Click the ad, man.
Oh, I'm sorry, I clicked your ad. But I'll tell you what, if there's an influencer commission, I'll buy it. Oh my God. This should have come with a warning, but. Okay, let's be adults here. Okay, what is this? Is this?
I was out the inventory for 6 months. Now I come back.
Okay, but let's back up. Is $104? I might like this product. Hold on. So, is this your private label?
Yes.
Okay. By a show of hands, who here knows what this product is?
Just learned about that.
Oh, you do? Okay. Oh, no, it's making sense. Okay, all right. I'm trying to navigate this. We can pick on Carmen, I guess. It's always safe to go there.
Careful. here.
Carmen, what is this?
It's a steamer for
Good butt.
Okay,
women's health.
Oh,
for
I
women's
didn't-
health. Okay,
I didn't
so-
see- I didn't even see that. Oh my gosh.
yeah.
It's not for the.
This was very
It's
popular
for
when
the-
Gwyneth
the
Paltrow
intimate
came out
care.
with the, you know what,
Yeah.
facial.
Yeah.
Facial from the other side.
Yes, the other side.
It's all good. And this, you did a lot here. Wow.
Wait, somebody,
You
did
added
somebody brought up
ingredients?
here?
Yes.
Who sells that?
Oh, he does.
Good choice.
I would like to hear advice from everyone.
Yeah, I would like, Carmen, you want to?
Stop saying my name, Carlos.
All right. Give me a second.
So this is a hybrid, right?
No, it's not a hybrid, it's just a PL product.
Take the pictures. Maybe
I see steam, I'm getting the description, but then I also see slippers.
Check the pictures. Maybe you understand. You check the pictures.
Can I check?
No, he understands, he's just trying to get recovered.
Oh, God. No, okay, so, good job.
He's blushing. He's blushing.
Good job. Who wants to set that up? You want to see everyone okay with seeing the pictures?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Let me know when you want me to go.
So very weird.
Oh, you did it. What does this product do?
It's for a woman
Yeah.
for taking care.
Oh, okay.
What does that mean?
It's steaming their parts
Right,
And
right.
that's good
yeah.
for you?
with.
And because they're
with
slippers,
herbs.
I'm gonna say they're steaming their feet.
No,
No, that's just for comfort.
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 That's too
Well,
one
it's
to
like
the
That's
thing.
like the
No,
whole experience.
I see what's going on here.
Whole
I'm just like,
experience.
is that a hood that goes over the person and you're just covering in that, or that's what she's wearing and that's?
No, you say the woman sit and.
It's
Right,
like
yes,
that.
yep.
But it doesn't come with that.
And you
plate?
add this in the inside,
Yeah.
so it's
Yeah.
organic,
Herbs, it's herbs.
herbs. And then the flowers is
Healing,
part
healing,
of the gift,
healing herbs.
healing
The gift-
herbs.
The gift are the herbs and the slippers.
Yep.
The
So what-
towel on her is just because you couldn't show her naked, but that's not included though, right?
No, that's a question. I think it's a good question.
A
No,
towel would
is
be-
a towel?
I really wanted to know, like, is that a hood
The
that comes
product
up?
is just the seat,
Right, but you're including the seat, the sleepers, the herbs, and that's
Yes.
it.
yes.
The towel that's showing on the lady,
Is that a towel?
You can
Yeah,
read the
it's a-
first, the
yeah,
first.
whatever. It could be a robe,
bullet
robe or
points.
something.
Yeah, let's go to your, oh,
I have a thing, like right away to say,
yeah,
the size, can you put the picture again?
Yeah,
Thank
yeah.
you. So, the size of the thing and the proportions of the lady are totally off. That she looks like she had no legs, or she was introduced into the thing with, like, there's something off about the size of the thing and the lady sitting.
the
on it.
scale.
The scale.
No, it's almost the size, yeah, the size is.
Let me
Well,
ask you,
the main one that-
is this needed, or can this be scaled up to this, so where it's taking the,
If you showed her legs.
if,
it would
yeah, you
help.
show her legs.
There is a picture.
If you
for
show the legs, you
side.
can change the keywords by putting calf tattoos.
Have the legs.
I thought that was very scared or
Why don't you
something.
just turn her sideways?
Well, I think you'd be showing a lot of thigh then, and you might be like,
Yeah, it
Carmen,
would, it
there
would
is
look like
a
that she's on a
picture
toilet
with the
at that point.
size. The size
who
is
needs the
before-
squatty potty?
The fourth picture is the size of the.
Huh?
The fourth picture has the size
I
of the
want to know
product.
how he found this product.
Next
Oh,
one,
pink, yes.
next one. Yeah.
Centimeters.
Why is it big?
It shouldn't be in centimeters would be one thing.
Yeah.
If it's in the United States, it'll be in inches. Yeah, 100%.
Frequency and
Please put
voltage,
both.
nobody.
This is redundant. Specification of the Ioni, it's electric. Specification of the Ioni electric steaming seat. You put the specs or the market, I think they're called demarcating lines. When you add those lines, it says, like, that's what it is. High density thickened PP, come up with another word, especially PP with this, but like, you have material identity, high density thickened PP, no.
You're selling this in the US, you're showing centimeters, that's also not.
Right, rated voltage, I would just express that differently, like,
But what do you even need that? Basically, it works.
I think the dimensions are needed,
Dimensions, but
Dimensions
the
are
rest.
important.
or if somebody's buying this, I'm assuming they know what it is
Max
already.
rate, I guess makes sense, but everything else?
What is 35 centimeters?
I guess.
So how do you sit up? Okay.
Not really.
Rated power, I don't think that needs to be here. I think like what you're trying to express here is like, where does this fit in my house afterwards?
Well, can you plug it in Europe?
And can you plug it in Europe?
But will you travel with this thing?
Does it have a battery?
I have so many questions.
Does it come in leopard print?
Oh, that would be,
Ooh,
yes, I
that's-
like that.
Okay. I think.
Maybe skins.
I have a
versus
I have a
wood.
problem with these, and I'm just, because they don't convert well. I get the logic here, you were kinda like, this is stock, right? Stock photography, and then you superimpose or you rendered this image in. It's a bad quality render, so. Like, I almost find it disturbing.
Are you selling with the slippers too?
Yes, this is a gift.
I would be careful with that window there. The window is what draws my attention, and there's no need for that window to be there.
Yeah.
So maybe making it more, to me, I'm
Private.
like, if I'm gonna get on that seat, I don't want anybody looking at my window.
I don't know. if
So
it's
Tall on that
specific-
maybe make it more,
Fred Flintstoning it.
make it a little more private, I don't know.
Yeah. Also, and again, I'm not trying to be funny. This thing, it's for health reasons, right? Or is this like adult novelty?
Health
reasons.
It's health. This font is like what I see with,
Children's
Okay, I
toys.
get you.
what?
Children's toys.
No.
Actually, no, not children's toys. I was gonna say like Adam and Eve,
Yeah. Hot pink kind of thing. Yeah.
like the glowing one. It's kinda like dancing all night, like what I see outside, you know?
Yeah, like
Every
party
night to
party
go by
vibes,
yourself.
no?
And then, maybe my mind's in the wrong spot, but this doesn't, the look doesn't really scream to me like I'm about to take care of my personal health
Yeah,
needs.
it's
It
not-
looks
doesn't look
like,
spa. It looks
I'm
like
expecting her to be
put it on.
holding like a massager in this hand or
It's
something
maybe
like.
like
She's-
when
I don't know the thing, that the
the
expression doesn't look like that.
woman
I would see her
share-
holding that, looking at like her favorite coffee,
No, it looks
She-
like she's inviting somebody to do.
to
the
join her.
Yeah,
Join her
she's
with
not
the
she's not
button.
holding the main product.
But maybe it depends on the person. Like, does anyone else disagree? Does anyone, like, cause you felt like it was a children's toys.
Well, I don't.
Totally could be.
I don't care for that color. of
The
pink,
Barbie,
but
the
it-
Barbie pink.
It's a misrepresentation of how you would use it, because it shows her sitting on it, when actually it's only about this big.
That's really good. That's really good to know, yeah.
And it might not be strong enough to actually put hundred and fifty
220 pounds
pounds
on
on.
one of those pictures.
I think that's great. I think you just need to show the product.
You know, I think, since it's for women, that the thing could be after the woman deliver this, get for the hemorrhoids,
Oh, this attacks that too?
That could be a good,
Keyword.
yeah.
The herbs are normally active and antibacterial.
I don't know how you say
I'm gonna
that.
say congratulations on giving me a product that has me a little stumped and like reeling a little bit.
I don't know that product is for that.
Am I at the right
You
meet?
know, or you
Am I at the
just
right
like-
meetup?
No, I mean, I guess.
Am I at the right
No,
meetup?
it's not for hemorrhoids.
It's cleansing.
Am I at the right meetup?
Cleansing.
Yeah.
It's almost more like a mindset type of thing. I mean, like how much it does.
Yanni is Sanskrit.
But
It's like
it's almost
yoga.
something you do when you meditate. Like it's in the world of like wellness, meditation, yoga, all of that.
okay, okay.
It's not
Self-care.
sexy. It's not like
No.
inviting people. It's not for hemorrhoids. It's not nothing like that. It's not that medical.
Yeah, so I would make it look more like a spa experience
Exactly.
than the vibe I'm getting, for sure.
Yeah. It looks like a
Spa
hair
yoga
dryer.
experience, right?
I think, backing up, I think,
Okay,
again.
there is inches, look, I don't, the
Yeah,
inches.
go back, go back to the
No, 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 the
dimensions.
description.
No, we have to put
Yeah, but no.
No, but you got, remember what we just said, like, you wanna communicate what's here visually.
And you don't wanna make the customer look for information. You wanna put it in their face.
Yeah,
They don't need to think.
I think again, you don't wanna miscommunicate the stale, but you see how in this picture, this is front and center, like this is what this image is about, this product. The hierarchy, there's no doubt. When you come over here, it's not so front and center. I mean, it looks like you wanted it to be this, but it's kinda hard not to look at this. So I don't know what to look at right here, and I think that's hurting your listing. I would test this one as your main and eliminate the other one, or I would test eliminating her and showing it. I think these are
The
calling.
gifts can be way smaller.
Huh?
The gifts can be way smaller.
Way smaller, like this is secondary stuff, this is like afterthought. It's,
Okay.
But if I had to guess that, representation versus reality is what's hurting you the most. And if I had to guess on the reviews, everybody's saying it's way smaller than I thought. Because the size that we just calculated, you could not sit on it. We're talking something.
It's about way in the bucket there.
Like this. If you sat on that, it's probably hurtful.
You probably are meant to squat.
It hurts me thinking of it. Yeah, so the scale.
What is the actual scale, like, what's it?
No, they just calculated it, it's like this.
13 centimeters, I mean 13 inches,
13 inches
inches.
tall.
Oh, 13 inches tall.
And
It's
then-
like this, it's like this.
Yeah, the size is like it.
No,
The
it's
size is over
not.
there.
I don't think anyone buys this though
Unless it was like-
and thinks it's 3 feet,
Yeah.
right? I think somebody who buys this and somebody who's spending over $100.
The iron is 1.5.
14.5 inches tall.
Yeah, it's 14.5 inches, so I don't think anyone buying this and for $100 doesn't know the size of this thing. Like, they understand what it does and they're buying it.
Gotcha.
So I would eliminate this then. I think also the color, and if you're gonna leave this, the person using it also knows that it's a woman that's buying this. I don't think it's giftable. Like, even if I knew my wife, I don't think I would buy this for my wife. I think she's something that's one of those, I buy stuff for my wife, but I think this is one of those things she might buy on her own.
Yeah.
If this was a product that you wanted to catch guys' attention, I guess you'd have that. So I don't think this is necessary. And I think the scale, I'm assuming, but you do test this, I think the scale is already known by someone who's gonna buy this. But I would have this product front and center, like what you have here. I would see if you could pull off these dimension lines in the main image.
Okay.
I would make these extras so much smaller. As a matter of fact, I don't know what the slippers do, right?
Yes, this is just a gift.
Something I think a lot of people do, and actually there's somebody in the group, a friend of Ricky, where he's got a lot of stuff in his products, and it's rare that I recommend this, but if you have a bunch of stuff, don't force it into your main image. Some people receive something and they know what they're getting and they get more. It's a very exciting, like they're very happy about that. It translates into more of a review. So like the slippers to me take away from it because it's a different pink. I think it personally I would test it on PickFu. It detracts from the product. And then if somebody receives this and there's actually slippers in there, assuming they're quality slippers, they're happy, or they're definitely not upset. But I don't think the slippers are like.
See, there was a guy at the subscription some that I went to, and he actually said that it's better to put gift or surprise gift inside or gift package inside than it is to send somebody a gift with something that surprises you inside. It's better to say, hey, there's a gift coming there with a surprise in it, as opposed to letting someone get the gift and then you seeing the surprise in it. Make sense? So it's better to like let them know that there's a gift package in there. So if there's a gift package or a woman's package or however you want to like word that, but it's, don't actually show them what's there, but just say it's a woman's package or something like that in there. That's better to let them know that there's something extra coming.
I'm assuming that these are the plants that comprise the ingredients that are in here, and you're trying to do an ingredient play, but that's not so obvious to me. It kind of looks like some flowers. They're kind of like sticking out of the side. I would eliminate that. So I'd eliminate this. I'd make this very tiny. I personally would get rid of the slippers, and I'd scale this up. If you can add in the dimensions lines, that would be great, but I would eliminate them. I would do all that, and one of them would have this scaled up, and one of them would have this scaled up, and I would test which one converts better. I wouldn't put this down to 14 inches and show somebody doing some position that no one can get into in the world, squatting over it. But I maybe also test the legs here. Like give this person legs, like you're maybe just showing a piece of the calves. Did you take this shot or did you render this?
Somebody Fiverr do it.
Photoshop this? Yeah, I'm not in love with it. The other thing I would add, I hate to beat a dead horse here, but I would add an app.
It comes with a remote, like there's,
You're talking about like an instruction guide.
Yeah, I would put an app that this thing comes with. What's in the app, there's a bazillion things you could do. I wouldn't say Alexa enabled,
Steve.
right? Compatible with Ring.
Whichever you know.
Right? But where is something like,
I think the only thing I would say about that is how do you replenish the herbs that it comes with?
hopefully it has like a subscribe and save thing going on. Yeah, but I'm thinking the person that buys this, do they know
Yeah, yeah.
there's like some go-to herbs that they can get? Maybe this receives something like,
This is a very small niche.
yeah, I've never heard of it. I'm curious you don't have to say it out, but I'm curious what your cost is on this product.
Cost?
You don't have to put it out there, but
Everything-
it's $105, it's 14.5 inches, it's plastic, and it's electric.
My profit is like around $35 for each.
So this is $30?
The China,
Yeah.
it's like no less than this. But if you put the product, but plus airs, plus shipping,
oversized, right?
everything.
It's oversized.
No, 14.
Yes.
Well, 14.5 inches is oversized. No. Well, the packaging is gonna be over
14,
18.
No, but it's 11 by 11. One of the measurements need to be.
Right. Can you make this smaller?
No,
Can you make the packaging smaller?
no. The package, no.
Assuming nobody, okay, yeah, that's the feedback I have.
The profit is around 35.
I would test 99.97, not 104. And the reason is because there's that mental block of saying, I want to spend $100.
Yeah, $99.99 seems like it'd be great. Good one. What's the main keyword for this? Like, what does somebody search for this?
Johnny Seed.
Yanni seed?
Johnny Seed.
Yeah, it would be cool to see what.
I would have the keyword on here, right, Yanni seed. I would get the keyword there. I would definitely have something here about the warranty.
Okay.
It's $100 and more. I would do the warranty. That covers one of the risk angles as far as social proof. I'd be careful with the words here, but rejuvenate. I would put something of like how many helping people be healthy. I don't know. I would put something social proof there, and you could accomplish it. The other thing is, I wonder what this looks like in its packaging. So like, is there really nice packaging that this thing's in? Because maybe you pull it off just by showing the packaging.
No, this is a brown box for now.
Yeah, I figured that.
This is my product.
Maybe instead of, I like expressing the ingredients, like maybe you don't need to show the bag. Definitely lots to test here. If this is electric, I notice it doesn't say anything anywhere about like Underwriter's Laboratory or like any electrical certifications.
It's electric. Yeah.
Somebody's gonna sit up, it's gonna be like an electric chair. I'm sorry. Okay, we went over. Wrap
Thank
it
you
up.
very much.
Yep. Hope you guys got a lot of value out of this. The idea, just to recap, the hierarchy of the listing on how you have everything set up in your main image really matters. Extreme example of that is if you have a vanilla something, you don't want the vanilla to be massive and your product to be small. That's extreme, so you get the point. Badges obviously have a huge impact, especially on mobile, because they show up right here in that main image. If it's giftable, express that. Like, definitely express it. Risk via warranty and social proof. Address that in the main image. Have your main keyword visible in the main image. A lot of times that's much easier to do when it's on the packaging. Variations, if you have them. If you have one variation, I don't know that it's that important, but if you have variations, express that in the main image. If it's a color variation through a starburst, through the dots, or like we saw with the Zulai listing where it actually expressed it there, which I think is going to be very difficult for any other type of product to do. Try to show the end result, which is here. Remember, people are buying the destination, not the journey. Lifestyle, ingredients, which I already mentioned, and anything, your features and benefits that you have in your bullet, try to also display that visually in your main image, all right? The final one is if you are gonna do something via differentiating by IP, what I call it, or a technological differentiator, consider adding the app. So I hope that helped. It was a lot. We've never done one like that. So any feedback you have on it is appreciated. Thank you very much. Yeah, it got risque. Totally. Oh, was there any questions, by the way? Were you seeing any questions coming in?
Yeah, I apologize. I was looking.
You just started to scroll.
Well, no, I'll keep answering the questions. Just let me know what they are. Let me get my glasses and I'll answer them right now. Yeah, I'll look at it now. Well, you know what? I'll keep it open and I'll keep looking. Because anyone that wants to stay on the stream, they can. But I can keep going. I just want to.
Let's say as a brand, we put a bid in, right? Like that link I sent you has this example. So as a brand, I put a bid in. That should be opening up the.
You sent it to me on WhatsApp?
No, on your text.
Okay.
Just, it looks like just two quick, kind of quick questions
Oh,
here.
no, I just reset my password, so I don't have it.
I sent you the link so we can get to it.
Yeah. Okay. Let me do the questions on the stream in case they want to. What are the questions?
They're rather quick questions. First question is there a difference in the results if the company put plant-based protein instead of plant-based protein? So I assume they mean.
I wouldn't insert a dash. If your plant-based protein is your main keyword, and that's what your product is about, yeah, and with that type of packaging, I would put plant-based protein very front and center.
But they mean like if you put like a hyphen in there and someone searches, would that skew the keyword searches, or is it hyphen?
Amazon reads your images.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
that's gonna come up. Dear old Rufus.
And the last question I see here is from Dimitri. What would be the price to develop an easy app for Apple or Android?
So we build, Dimitri, I know we're working on a Shopify side of yours too, if it's the same Dimitri, but we do the apps, building out the app to where it's in the Apple Store, Google Store, plus the full build of the app, all the maintenance, everything, is $1,500. So, and that should be something like, for a listing like this, even for something in $19.95, because everybody else is selling the same thing for $9.99, so I'm assuming we bolted on $10 onto this listing. He doubled what he's selling it for. For example, somebody, if I built the app for this at $1,500, this person made their money back in 3 weeks. So, and then for the life of the product, they're just making a killing. So that's what that would be. Anything else?
That's all the questions. Some people were commenting cat camera collar for the photos.
Oh, a collar.
They
cat
got a
camera
cat
collar.
collar. Yeah. Eraser. Yep. Oh, and Seb's kid said also they could change like Happy Father's Day, Happy Mother's Day on the photos. They suggested that.
Yeah, totally. You totally can change that out as on the render of the photo as testing other keywords out. I would be careful with Happy Mother's Day, because I think if somebody bought it for Happy Mother's Day, that might be what prompted them to buy it, so they can give it to someone on Mother's Day, and then it would say Happy Mother's Day on it, and they received it and it didn't say Happy Mother's Day. I think that would be a problem. Yeah.
That's it.
Also, if it's like very Christmassy, is the change you made, and someone bought it for someone on Christmas, but it wasn't Christmassy, I think you'd run into some issues. Yeah.
That's all.
All right, so we had a bit of a risque event. What's the product you wanted me to look up?
Oh, so the link, it's look at the link, I forgot the name of it.
I can't, oh, let me see.
What it was.
I'll pull it
Okay, I
up.
sent it so that I don't forget. Oh, the organic one, the cream. So on that one, there's a brand video, but all the influencers only show up on the bottom.
Which one am I looking at?
The vanilla.
me any other questions. Yeah, anything. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, absolutely. Which one is it? This one? Right, it shows they have a brand video, and it shows 4 open influencer slots. I think it's Amazon just like playing with a lot of different stuff. But what I see here, these 2 are the brand. This is the only influencer one. Is it a different one? No, you could come. It's okay. Yeah, the video's still going.
I don't know. It's been a wild party today here.
No.
Mira.
Should I introduce you as the manufacturer of the product? Or no?
I was like, do you sit in that thing? I don't get it. Look, if you go, I don't know if this is the one you pulled up.
No, I'll go back.
Oh, you did. That's French vanilla. So when you go here, look, they just have their one brand, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So then when you go all the way to the bottom, I didn't say hi, by the way.
Hi.
When you're all the way here. Okay, now that I'm an influencer.
Yes.
So when you go, coño, here. Oh, but you're right. It's the same thing, even though it's a different
Yeah.
flavor. So 2 of them are the brand, and then there's just one influencer. So that's a good one to get in on. But I'm just wondering if they limit the top carousel.
I don't think so.
No, it's
Let me
just
see.
Amazon playing around.
Say, well, no. This is the only one here. So of the 3 on the bottom, this is one of them. The other one is a live stream.
Oh,
So the live stream
stream's
session, right? And this one's here.
That's why I was.
But this isn't bad. I mean, no one's gonna get rich off of it. You're gonna make well, that's not bad at all. You make 88 cents per. There's only one on
What
there.
extension is that one?
This extension
The
is
low-hanging fruit?
Spizon.
Oh, Spizon.
Spizon or lowest hanging fruit. I believe it's Spizon. I'm about to switch over though to Fluencer fruit.
Oh, it's the same concept?
Yeah, but I think they have a lot more
Features?
and a lot more filters that you can customize to fit whatever you want. But this is actually really good. There's 4 slots open, so your likelihood of getting some sales is quite high. It's getting 1,000 sales per month. Let's say you get 20% of that and you split it with someone. That's pretty good.
That's a nice thing. Would you say the conversion is better with face or faceless?
Face.
Always face?
Yeah. But I mean, just look at this one for a second. This is faceless, I think. Yeah.
So let's say it's something like this that you want to show how it works. So you start off the intro face, and then you focus on the product. Would it be okay? So you can have your face.
Well, I think it depends on the product. So no one probably. I think it depends on the video you're doing. Like no one wants to see an unboxing of milk or creamer. But then, if you were set up to where you were sitting at a table and the camera was catching you and it made sense and you had a few glasses of coffee or whatever you're going to do it and you wanted to visually show that, I think you being on the screen the whole time makes more sense. But if you have a nice shot set up to where it just shows you don't like, I don't know if the goal here was like I want to show that with very little goes a long way in my coffee. Like so I don't like having to add a lot of creamer to the coffee, but I also like it to change the color of the coffee, right? So if I show like with just a little bit, look what you, like say you wanted to go for that, I don't think you need to be on the camera for that.
Especially with code, because it looks so unappealing.
Right, yeah, I don't think it does.
And then I have one more question. What is it? Oh, captions or no captions? Like on the thumbnail, words or no words? Do you say for the influencer?
I think so first 3 videos, you're past that, but first 3 videos, no thumbnail.
Right.
Then once you're past that, make sure you have a thumbnail. That's just an intentional one. I think you just holding it is enough. But what I am seeing that works really good, but maybe only do this for ones that you have a better shot at getting a better commission, is if you can create some kind of intrigue and use arrows
red and green arrows. So like if you have, a friend of mine just did this with his backpack, which I thought was genius. He's got a backpack, the thumbnail image is of the backpack, and there's a red arrow going to one of the features on it, and then it says, can't believe it could do this.
So kind of like a clickbait.
Yes, right.
But selectively.
Right, it is not doing it across everything. So like selectively, I don't think you need to do more than arrows, and maybe a variation of something I just said, I can't believe it can do this. Did you know? Was surprised to see, you know? So,
But when people write things like honest reviews, that's not helpful, I would say.
very unpopular opinion, I don't think the reviews that we do in the influencer program, for the most part, have a very big impact in the conversion for the majority of the stuff we're reviewing. We've been making, I make a couple dollars a day reviewing his air plant soil. And you can go watch it. You go to his air plant soil one, and I say, this is air plant soil. I absolutely love it when I'm doing my air plants. My plants have lived so much, and I'm doing this air soil. I think you should get it. And that's all I said. It was really bad. There was a Scrabble picture in the background, and I'm making a couple dollars a day a year later off of that. Did that help? Did that help anyone convert? Right.
You're already looking for it.
I think someone was on the soil, and they're like, what's a video about this soil or this fertilizer have to do with anything? I just clicked it, and I happened to be the last video they looked at. But at that stage, they went to Amazon, they searched for something that had a very high buyer intent, they chose what they wanted to look at, and they're maneuvering around the listing. Like, that deep into the funnel, you're already locked in on buying, right?
I'm just curious.
You're trying to see, can I see anything that convinces me not to buy? Right, but you're done. So you,
Right, no, and sometimes what happens is the brand video will play and then the influencer one automatically plays right after. They don't have to click on it. So I think sometimes people run into it
Yeah.
without necessarily looking for it.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
I think the game, and I got your course, I just haven't looked at it.
Sure.
But the name of the game, I would say, and I'm a rookie obviously, is just have as many videos as possible.
Yes, 100%. Yeah, I think things will start switching at some point to niching down being the better way to, like, at some point they're going to cut commissions. Like, this is what they do. And your highest possible commission you can make is probably going to be like 1% to 1.5%. Apparel might do better because of what Shein and Temu and all them are able to do, but they're going to cut commissions. And when you do, it's going to really be important to, like, be the person that I think that
Specializes.
yes, it could be remote control cars, it could be beauty, it could be whatever. But I think you're going to find certain products easier to review than others. And maybe after doing so many reviews, this is like an easy thing. It doesn't really feel like work, and you're liking doing it a little bit. At that point, I think that's where it's good. Also, the brand deals. So if we get a kid's product and someone wants us to review it, the fact that we show them that there's a YouTube channel that we have with our kids, and that we have 2 kids and all this there, allows us to command a better price when we're trying to buy it. He was mentioning earlier a product, so he did some stuff for like pool stuff, and they told him no at first, but then he showed him he's got a gorgeous pool, and they sent him a really nice pool thing. What was it, a pump or a cleaner or a pool cleaner? If he didn't show them the pool and he had a beautiful pool, he doesn't get that. Right. So the fact that he's able to show that he's really niched around that, then it helps. So I really do think there is. But so
I think also they probably get burnt a lot, right? These suppliers.
yeah. Well, I think that's why they told him no. They were like, no. We don't see. I think they told him no. We don't see enough pool stuff on yours. They didn't scroll through all 1,000 reviews. He turned around and was like, what? Here's the ones that I'm doing. This is my conversion. So the more pool reviews he gets done, the easier it's going to be for him to convert for pool people and actually charge them. Yes.
And at what point would you say the content creator appears in that drop down?
Like the content creator, like getting products there?
No, like, because on mine it still doesn't show.
It's strange. Like for most people it shows, but for the ones that don't, I think it's, what I heard is you need to get, it's like 100
clicks.
100 clicks.
And at least $1 in revenue is what the Amazon people tell me. But I've met that criteria.
Then I would just reach out to Amazon. There
Right,
seems,
I did, and then that's when they told me July 1st. But if it's just based off what you've done already, why do you have to wait until July 1st?
well, I don't think they approve people automatically for stuff. I do think they like,
There's an application process?
well, it does seem to be everyone that gets rejected, when they find out that they're rejected, it all seems to happen within a 1 hour period of time. I mean, you don't know for sure, but I notice because everybody reaches out to me when they get approved or they get rejected if there's an issue, and they're clustered.
Oh, so so you know people who've gone through the application.
For Creator Connect, no, I'm talking about just for the influencer program.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know anyone that applied and got approved.
For the Creator Connect.
Yeah.
And got approved?
Well, I don't know anyone that came to me and said, I'm going to apply for this, and then they followed up with me and said, hey, by the way, I got approved. So like, they probably got approved. It probably happened.
I've heard that it just one day appears and then drop down.
Yeah. Well, no, you're going to receive an email. Everyone I know has received an email.
It could still be fresh. The account might be too new.
Yeah. So what I tried, the reason I'm saying like I've never heard anyone do it is there's so many like what works, what doesn't work, and I'm trying to only say this works if I see there's like 15 or 20 people. So I don't know what that is for Creator Connect. I know once you get it, I know once you get it, you basically just get an unlimited amount of free products.
Right. I don't know if I want all that shit. On Fiverr, I get tons of free products too.
Hold on. Any other questions from the stream, by the way, so I can cut them? Okay. Let me cut this real quick. But I want to tell you.
What's gonna happen is you're gonna get the first part.
All right. Wow. Ah, okay, no.
¿Alguna silla le puse allá? ¿La necesitaba aquí abajo o qué?
No, déjala abajo. No, it's okay, it's okay.
Puse unas allá, de una vez, las puse allá.
Okay.
Le quería pedir el favor a ver si puede hablar con las personas aquellas de Pakistán. está en el vídeo.
I'm gonna talk to them, I'll ask tonight.
Y si puede para que me comunique con
Sí.
ellos para poder yo hablar y tomar la decisión.
Okay.
Y empezar dentro de 8 días.
Sounds good. Gracias.
Carlos, muy amable.
Sí. All right. All right, so we got some people here. Thank you guys so much for coming out. I never get to say a proper goodbye because everybody's running around here and I'm usually just focused on getting the stream, so I'm just double checking everybody here to see if I missed any of the questions. Hope you enjoyed it. Sincerely, we've never done one like this. I could already see that I would approach it differently when I do it again, a little more structured. And I was hoping to go through like the canonical URL, the best practices for titles, and it looks like we spent all the time on the main image. It is disproportionately important than compared to everything else on the page, but so that's not that bad. And you know, getting into A+, getting into like all this other stuff. In reality, the main image is just, you know, one piece of the listing, albeit like one of the more important ones. So, like the impact that it has on PPC. Remember, like, PPC isn't a quick fix or a shortcut. It's just one of the pieces of this very big puzzle. Other things, you know, indexing for main keywords, relevant keywords in the title and bullets, quality A+ content, compelling images and videos, competitive pricing. Pricing's a huge one. Reviews, addressing feedback, you know, like all that stuff are all like those other pieces of the puzzle. But again, the main image is disproportionately impactful on the listing. So I hope that, again, you enjoyed it. I would really, really appreciate the feedback. What we do here with the group, with the content that I put out, is heavily influenced by you guys and what will help. And with that, I am going to wrap this up. Thank you so much